There we go. Call the meeting to order at 9:09. So to the clerk of the board, please. If I can have you do roll call.
Supervisor James.
Present.
Supervisor Williams. Here. Supervisor Mashburn. Here. And Chair Brown.
Yes, I'm here. Right after we do the salute of the flag and we do a moment of silence, can we remember our men and women who are still fighting for us, especially those who have passed away with this current conflict. So if I can have Tony lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, would you be willing to do that? Yes.
You're the man.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Someday. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Wade, for doing that. So, to the clerk of the board, item 1, please call for public comment and read the title.
I have no callers on the line, and I have no cards for item number 1. Adopt and present a resolution and plaque of appreciation honoring Denise Kaufman, Employment Resources Specialist 3, upon her retirement from Solano County, with over 28 years of dedicated service in the Department of Health and Social Services, Employment and Eligibility Division. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
So ordered by a vote of 4-0. So, if I may have Denise Kaufman, is she here? Oh, there you are. Okay, sorry. Oh, no wonder you look happy. I should have just found the happy person. That is so wonderful. I love your hair too, by the way.
Thank you.
And everybody will be coming up in a little bit. All right, so I'm not going to read this forever.
Okay.
Okay, sounds good. All right. So, whereas Denise Kaufman began her employment with Solano County on September 22nd, 1997, as a clerk with the Public Defender's Office, and on November 30th, 1997, was promoted to Client Services Specialist, quickly establishing herself as a dependable, knowledgeable team member. And there's a whole lot of other whereases, but I would rather have you tell us everything that you've done, or not. It's your call. This is your party. So you get to do what you want to do, and then other people can come and speak, however you want to run this. But we have gifts for you. My mom calls them dust catchers. So here is an award of appreciation for all the work that you've done for us.
Thank you.
The resolution is mounted for you. Yeah, you'll have to get out the mic. Whatever it is that you would like to say, whatever it is you would like
Thank
to
you.
say, go for it.
Good morning, Board. My name is Alicia Jones, and I am the Deputy Director over Solano County Employment and Eligibility. And these days are always bittersweet. Bitter because we have an excellent, individual who is leaving our ranks, someone who brings with them a significant level of tenacity, knowledge, and history. And sweet because she gets to go and she needs to transition into her next portion of life to do what it is that makes her happy and that brings her some level of joy. Not saying that work didn't do that. Every day that we're able to come, it did. And I can say that for certain when we're talking about Denise, because Denise, she became an employment resource specialist in 2015, and then she became an eligibility specialist in 2016, guiding welfare to work specialist. That's actually, she became an ERS 3. And what I often tell my staff is that this job, this work is not for the weak and the weary, because day in and day out, you're listening to other individuals' trauma, whether they're in need of food, or they're in need of medical benefits, or they're in need of cash aid to pay their rent and to take care of their families. What I always appreciate about Denise is that she always went above and beyond in trying to help the households over the cases that she oversaw. And when I say the households over the cases, it's because after a period of time, it becomes easy to not look at our families as individuals or as people, but as cases, as pieces of paper back in 1997 when she started. Now you're looking at a computer screen and you're seeing just words and numbers, and you're not equating it to an actual physical life. Denise never came from that perspective. She always took a lot of pride in the work in which she did in helping families to be successful in transitioning off of services. And whenever we needed her to kind of facilitate trainings or educate our eligibility workers about the benefits and the importance of welfare to work, she was always there, and she was always coming with a level of enthusiasm and that heightened level of what you're doing is bigger than what you think. And so for that, E&E, Health and Social Services, Solano County, is very fortunate to have had you for 28 years, and that is a true blessing. You will absolutely be missed.
Please. Oops, I'm sorry.
Excuse me. It's hard to hear people give you these wonderful accolades. You know, I mean, you just want to always be lifted up by others. And when you are, it's like, oh my God, that's me. They're talking about me. So I just might need a second, please.
Take your time. This is yours.
28 years for this.
I know, I tried to hold out to 30, but what? As civil servants, we work our entire lives, so we can retire. I think everybody does that. But we want to have the time that we want to do what we want. Retirement is giving me an opportunity to redefine myself and what I value. I have a different outlook in life, having worked with the community of Solano County, in the public defender's office, the assessor's office, in probation, but the majority and in many capacities with H&SS. The knowledge and empathy you gain working closely with people, walking through those doors, excuse me, it's very humbling. I felt blessed and grateful to be on the assisting side of the desk. The hardest part is leaving the people I care about, my coworkers, people in other agencies at the community colleges, and my clients. Such a privilege to work with all of them. I want to thank all of you for making my years challenging yet rewarding. My time as a paid employee has ended. I've already started to work with Red Cross on Chadbourne, so I'm right here back in Fairfield. And my calling has always been to work with those in need. Solano County Employment has given me that, and Solano County is still providing that in retirement through the Red Cross. I know I've only been retired a month, but in the words of Howard Salzman, retirement is not a time to sleep late, but a time to awaken to the beauty of the world around you. And I want to thank Solano County for continuing to offer the ability to give back to my community and to enjoy many road trips, our great state, and the surrounding ones on the West Coast before I head back east next year. Even though I look forward to what comes next, I promise I will take the memories of the amazing and fabulous people who made this workplace feel like a second home. And in the words of Abraham Lincoln, and in the end, It's not the years in your life that count, it's the life in your years. Thank you. Yeah, right.
So before we do pictures, is there anybody who would like to say anything at all? Or you can just say she said it. Come on up.
I will, I will.
Okay.
But I'm emotional too, so bear with me. I just have to thank Denise for her passion, commitment, and extra mile service that she gave to every single solitary client we serve. So I just want to honor her. Thank you, Denise.
Thank you, Jenny. Thank you.
All right, so it's picture time so that she can look at us and say, I don't have to do that anymore. So come on up. Come on up, everybody. It's not the time to be shy. Is that everybody? No. Well, then why aren't you? You need to have the cameraman do, yeah. Okay, we're good.
Okay, so after we're done here, hold the pose for just a second. Okay. Here we go. On three. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. All right. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Madam Clerk, if you could please call for public comment and read the title for agenda number 2.
Okay, I do not have any callers on the line for this item, but I do have a public speaker card, so Kwaku Middleton? And while you're coming up, I'm going to go ahead and read the title. Oh, no, go ahead. Actually, come on up. Yes, sir.
Hi, my name is Quaker Middleton. I just wanted to address the board. I'm with Vallejo Project. My mission is to get more inner city youth into the trades program. I'm a carpenter, and I like to see that happen in the schools, also in the churches, getting workforce development task forces in the churches. My sister, who founded Vallejo Project, is heading off to Nigeria, and a lot of people of my age are heading off doing their mission trips, but I feel my mission is here in Vallejo, where we have a lot of youth that are being drawn away by different music and different principalities, that getting them back into a trades program and showing them a functional way that we have a reason and a purpose for them in our society. So that's, I just want to make that statement.
Great. Thank you.
Item number 2, adopt and present a resolution recognizing July 7th through the 13th, 2026 as 707 Week in Solano County. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
So ordered by a vote of 4-0.
So while the 707 Week Committee and planners and the entrepreneurs are coming down, I'm excited for this resolution. One of the best parts of public service is being able to elevate community-driven ideas, and to ensure the people behind them are recognized. And 707 Week is going to be more than a celebration. It's an opportunity to invest in ourselves, in the county, and each of our cities. Everybody? Oh, they brought the whole gang. And this is only a third of them. And I would say one of the most beautiful things about this planning committee, it's intergenerational. It's folks from the different cities within our county. It is folks with different trades, different backgrounds, and their love for this county, their love for their cities. Was beautiful to see it unfold as they have birthed and nurtured this event. So I get the honor of reading the resolution. Recognizing July 7th through 13th, 2026 as 707 Week in Solano County. Whereas 707 Week is a community-driven celebration that honors culture, creativity, history, businesses, and distinctive identity of Solano County and residents who proudly call the 707 home, while promoting civic pride, economic vitality, tourism, and support for local businesses, artists, and entrepreneurs throughout the county. And whereas the 707 area code was established in 1959 as one of California's original regional area codes and has since been a widely recognized symbol of regional pride, cultural identity, innovation, resilience, entrepreneurship, and community connection across Solano County. And whereas Solano County is enriched by its diverse cultures, backgrounds, traditions, and perspectives, which contribute to the county's vibrancy, strength, and quality of life. And 707 Week celebrates the many individuals and communities whose contributions continue to shape the social, cultural, and economic fabric of this region. 707 Week was established in 2025 as a community-led initiative dedicated to recognizing and elevating the people, artists, business, nonprofits, and community partners that contribute to the identity, success, and vitality of the 707 region, including the communities of Benicia, Dixon, Fairfield, Rio Vista, Suisun City, Vacaville, and Vallejo. And whereas in the inaugural 707 Week celebration in 2025 featured more than 20 events over 8 days, engaged approximately 1,800 attendees, supported 73 local vendors and small businesses, and connected more than 250 job seekers with 31 employers, demonstrating the initiative's significant community impact and its growing role in advancing workforce development, cultural expression, tourism, small business support, and cross-sector collaboration throughout Solano County. And whereas 707 Week brings together our residents, community members, organizations through cultural events, performances, networking opportunities, educational programs, and volunteer activities, and civic engagement initiatives that strengthen community connection, foster inclusion and collaboration, and promote equitable economic opportunity throughout the county. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Solano County Board of Supervisors hereby proclaim July 7th through 13th, 2026 as 707 Week in Solano County, and encourages all residents, businesses, organizations, and visitors to participate in activities that celebrate and support the people, culture, and communities of the 707 region. And if you go to the website 707week.com, you will see a list of all the activities that will be happening throughout Solano County. And there are some great partnerships, even with SF Bay Ferry, the only route that will have the 707 fare. Pay $7.07 to go from Vallejo to San Francisco and back. From partnerships with Workforce Development Board to bring a 707 week job fair for traditionally or historically excluded communities. And we have a host of folks, and I believe that Andrea and Essex, who are two of the leads of this committee, will speak to some of the activities and what's happening, and I'm gonna step aside for them.
Thank you, Supervisor James. Thank you, supervisors and everybody for being here today. My name is Andrea Portillo. I am 2026 co-chair along with Essex Cook and Shay Miles. Unfortunately, Shay could not be here today, so I will be using my time to read her statement that she would love to share with you all. This statement is submitted on behalf of R. Shay Miles, 707 Committee Co-Chair. Good morning, Chair, Vice Chair, Cassandra R. James, members of the board, county staff, partners, sponsors, 707 committee members, and community supporters. While I am unable to be present today due to a prior commitment with my fellowship through the Center for Community Investment, my gratitude, pride, and full commitment are with you in this room. Today is deeply meaningful. A year ago, 707 Week was recognized through a City of Vallejo proclamation. This year, through the vision of foresight of Vice Chair Cassandra R. James and her colleagues, we are receiving an official Solano County resolution. This is more than a ceremonial step forward. It is a civic signal that 707 Week is growing in credibility, visibility, and countywide significance. 707 Week began with a simple but powerful belief that Solano County has a story worth telling, cities worth celebrating, businesses worth supporting, culture worth honoring, and people worth bringing together. This work has been built through sweat equity by change makers who gave their time, relationships, creativity, labor, and belief everything was fully formed. At this time, I want to recognize our 2025 founding sponsors as well as our 2026 sponsors helping carry this work forward. And bear with me, there's a lot. First, City of Vallejo, Office of Solano County Supervisor Cassandra R. James, A1 Guaranteed Heating and Air, Bambinos Vallejo, Bay Area Cinema, Bahan, Expressive Moments Mobile, Fanfly, Greater Vallejo Recreation District, House of Acts, Kaiser Permanente, King's Events, Collaboration Ventures Corporation's V-Town Farms, Lorestal, MCE Clean Energy, Mira Theater Guild, Moschetti Artisan Coffee Roaster, My Legacy Matters, Noni's Place, Recology Vallejo, Riverbank Vallejo, San Francisco Bay Ferry, Sharky's Chicken and Fish, Solano Community College, Solano Transit, Sweet Treatments, Tacos Jalisco, the L3 Perspective Podcast, Travis Credit Union, Vallejo Council Member Helen Marie Gordon, Vallejo Council Member Dr. Tanya Ludiger, Vallejo Naval and Historical Museum, Vallejo Seaweed, Vino Godfather Winery, Watch Me Grow, Western Railway Museum, and Workforce Development Board of Solano County. I also want to thank the powerful, passionate, and diligent 707 committee and supporters. This committee is the embodiment of sweat equity, follow-through, and love for community. I want to especially recognize 707 Drones, Bay Area 707 City Tours, Bay Biz Events, Selena Perez Consulting, Essex Cook Media, Flavor Focused Media, Jamila Hanif, Korea Speaks Inc., Lady Echelon Project, Mac Life Movement, Miles McNeil and Powell LLC, Mila J. and Tamila Ward, Sarah Anders, Stephanie Martin, Solano Writers Society, Sassoon City Commissioner Christina Elder, and Visit Vallejo. Each of you helped move 707 Week from an idea into a growing platform for civic pride, economic visibility, cultural celebration, and regional connection. What makes 707 Week special is not only the events, it is the intention behind them. We are building a legacy program that helps residents see themselves in the story of Solano County, helps local businesses be seen and supported, and helps our cities connect through shared pride. My hope is that 25 years from now, we are still talking about this moment, not simply as the year we received a resolution, but as the year Solano County affirmed 707 Week as part of a larger commitment to regenerate change, community economic development, and a stronger shared future. On behalf of the 707 Committee, thank you, Vice Chair Cassandra R. James, the Board of Supervisors, our sponsors, partners, committee members, and every supporter helping build what many thought was impossible. We are grateful, we are committed, and we are just getting started. Thank you.
Beautiful statement by Shay. I want to give a lot of my time to the people behind me. It's not an I thing. I battle with even carrying co-chair because I wear so many different hats and I'm so public. Everybody's been asking, like, where have I been? I've been with the people. I've been with this team, making countless calls, sacrificing a lot of times, giving up lunch breaks on top of lunch breaks to go meet somebody on their lunch break to go do some other work. But I really want to thank the Board of Supervisors, everybody. I know you guys are behind us, and I brag about the support in this county because somebody from Vallejo who's able to venture out in this county and see the effects and the diversity here, I can only say thank you to this committee and the time that they have given to this 707, and not just one city, but the whole county. I'm gonna save my time because I know some people want to say some quick stuff, but all I can say is I'm more than appreciative for everything and all the support you guys have been giving.
Good morning, supervisors. My name is Kyria Shabazz. I am honored to stand in support of recognizing 707 Week through this resolution. 707 Week is more than a celebration of an area code. It's a celebration of the people, the culture, the history, the resilience, and the collective pride that make our communities throughout Solano County unique. It is an opportunity to uplift stories, residents, entrepreneurs, artists, educators, youth leaders, and community advocates who work every day to strengthen our neighborhoods and create opportunities for future generations. In a time when communities can often feel disconnected, 707 Week reminds us of the power of belonging. It encourages us to support local businesses, honor our shared history, and invest in community partnerships who recognize the contributions of those who have helped shape the identity of the 707 region. This resolution sends as a powerful message that we value the people who call this region home, and that we are committed to fostering a sense of pride, connection, opportunity for all who live here. Thank you for recognizing 707 Week, for affirming the importance of celebrating the people, places that make 707 a vibrant and special community. Thank you.
What's poppin', loves and lovers? I'm Sarah Anders. I appreciate the Board of Supervisors for allowing us to be here and for the proclamation. I am a local filmmaker and actress. I'm going to read a statement submitted on behalf of Brianna Hardy, the 707 committee member and founder of Solano Writers Society. I am unable to be present today due to jury duty. I am honored that my organization, Solano Writers Society, is a founding partner of 707 Week. I was born and raised in Solano County with the idea that our county is a place to escape. It's a belief everyone around me has held since middle school. You need to get out. There's nothing here. This is a dead end. Escaping wasn't what I wanted, though. I wanted to invest in my community instead, to change the narrative of how our residents think of and feel about their home. A place can only change if people believe in it enough, and I wanted to be one of those people. Celebrations like 707 Week are made by people who choose to believe in a place like 707. I was thrilled to be a part of bringing it to life. It was an open act of love that involved laughter and getting creative and how things got to be done. The organizers of 2025 and 2026's 707 Week are passionate individuals that believe in uplifting our people, businesses, and organizations. They see that Solano County is a place worth being and belonging. It is a place worth investing in. 707 Week is planting seeds so our residents can be happy, fulfilled, and proud to call Solano County their home, and now for years to come.
My name is Selena. I'm part of Flavor Focus Media and, of course, 707 Committee. This is from the heart. There's no speech. It's only going to be 30 seconds because that's what Cassandra allowed me to do. So I'm originally from Los Angeles. I moved out here after 9/11. My dad stopped working, and we moved to Vallejo because my uncle lived here. And it was totally different. Where I lived, there was only Latinos and African Americans, and I came to a city that has everyone. And I have had the opportunity to move back. But once you had a taste of everyone around you, you're never going to go back to what you used to come from. So 707 is very special to me because this is where I learned that we can all coexist. And then where I was, there was only 2 sets of people that I knew. And I moved down here, and I'm raising kids here, and I'm never going back. And the 707 will always have my heart because look at how diverse we are. This whole committee looks like our whole county. And not everyone can say that they have this. That's it.
Can I get a yee?
Good morning, everybody. I am Chef Renee Johnson. I am an Oaklander, but my mother came here when I was in the 9th grade. So I moved from Oakland to Vallejo. I was mad, I'm not gonna lie. But this has become my community as well. I had the opportunity of being at the Juneteenth this weekend, and it was absolutely amazing. I felt like I was at a family reunion. But what I'm saying to you guys is that I am going to host 707 Soul Food Stroll, which is an event that we do in Oakland that I created. And it's all about family. It's all about togetherness. Right now, they're calling it the heartbeat of Oakland because it brings everybody together. So it's going to be such a pleasure to spoil you guys. This is our first one that we're taking on the road, and I won for Entrepreneur of the Year in Oakland last year. I just passed the torch in March, and I had the honor of sitting next to Cassandra. And Cassandra and my mother's from Vallejo, and my mother is like, bring Soul Food Stroll to Vallejo, bring Soul Food Stroll to Vallejo. So I am super excited for you guys to stroll with Blackberry Soul during 707 Week. And thank you so much for having us. And I'm going to bring my folks. You guys bring your folks, and we're going to have a party.
Good morning, everyone. 30 seconds, Chef Renee. I'm Patricia Hunter. I'm the president of the NAACP Vallejo Branch 1081. And I just came because when you're looking at these young adults who have done a tremendous job, and then when Supervisor James said 1959, that was a wonderful year because that's the year that I was born in 707. So I just want to thank the supervisors. I thank Supervisor James and all who have, these young people who have been working tirelessly to make this happen. So what did they say? Yay, yay, yee, yee. All right. So we're, the NACP is proud to be in partnership with 707 Week, and we look forward to seeing all of you during the time that July 7th through the 13th. I wanted to say the 14th. It's another special day. So thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you.
That brings us to item 3, to the clerk of the board. Any public comment, and then read the title, please.
I have no callers on the line, and I have no cards for item 3. Adopt and present a resolution recognizing July 19th through July 25th, 2026 as Probation Services Week. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
So ordered by a vote of 4-0.
Come on down, everybody. Thank you. We're honored today to be able to adopt a resolution by the Solano County Board of Supervisors recognizing all our probation personnel for the job that they do. In Solano County, we are truly a diverse county in our population, but also in our employees. And probation is an excellent example of that. Probation is one of the most diverse elements of law enforcement. When we think about law enforcement, we think about just that, law enforcement. But probation is tasked with a lot of other elements besides just the enforcement piece. They're tasked with a rehabilitation, the rebuilding of individuals, or at least the presentation of the opportunity for rebuilding individuals, rebuilding families, and rebuilding the community. And that's a pretty large lift. And they can't do it with just the probation officers. They have to do that with all of the folks who work in probation and support there. That's the counselors, that's the clerical staff, that's all the people who have to be part of that in order for it to be successful. And we can see that it's successful in our county because of the number of people who come out of the system and who are helped to better their lives. And probation officers and the folks who work at probation, they're the ones who make that happen, and we're very appreciative of that in our county. So to that end, the Solano County Board of Supervisors seeks to recognize that probation officers and juvenile correctional counselors are part of a dedicated team of probation professionals who play a unique role in the justice system by enhancing public safety and reducing recidivism through evidence-based programming, structured supervision, and supportive services. Probation provides cost-effective public safety strategy by supervising individuals in the community while connecting them to critical services such as workforce development, substance use treatment, mental health care, and education. Probation professionals balance the need for accountability with the opportunity for individuals to engage in treatment and rehabilitation, providing the structure and support necessary to change lives and reduce future crime. Probation officers and juvenile correctional counselors complete extensive professional training. Probation officers receive 350 hours within their first 2 years, at least 40 hours annually, and juvenile correctional counselors receive 320 hours within their first 2 years and 25 hours annually in areas including topics like trauma-informed care, cognitive behavioral therapy, strength-based approaches, and emotional intelligence. The Solano County Board of Supervisors recognizes the vital contributions of probation professionals and reaffirms its commitment to supporting their ongoing professional development, safety, and effectiveness in carrying out their mission. Now therefore be it resolved that the Solano County Board of Supervisors do hereby recognize July 19th through July 25th, 2026 as Probation Services Week and encourage all citizens to honor Solano County probation officers and juvenile correctional counselors for their work, ongoing dedication to justice, rehabilitation, and community safety. With that, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Good morning, Chair, members of the board. Thank you, Supervisor Mashburn. My name's Dean Farah, proud, honored, and humbled to serve as the Chief Probation Officer for Solano County. Thank you for the opportunity to be here today. Our department is represented by staff from across multiple divisions: juvenile, adult, programs, administration, fiscal, and support teams. Each brings a critical piece of the work that supports the clients and strengthens community safety. I often say in the department, there's no position in our department that's more important than another one. And I'm the chief saying that. Because each position that we have plays a critical role. And whether it's even though there's different assignments, different responsibilities, different accountabilities, each is critical and necessary, or we wouldn't have it in the department. At its heart, our department is about building bridges. Bridges between accountability and opportunity, between youth and support, between individuals and the resources to help them change their trajectory. No single staff can do this alone. It is the coordinated efforts across our teams that make these outcomes possible. Here to share their experiences are 4 of our team that are building bridges every day in their work, connecting with each other, with clients, and with the community to make a difference in Solano County. We thank you for your continued partnership and support, and thank you for acknowledging the good work that is done throughout the community and throughout the year. With that, I'll invite Zoe to come up.
Good morning, everyone. Today, I would like to highlight the importance of family engagement and connection in supporting the success and well-being of justice-involved youth. At the heart of this work is the belief that young people are not at risk, they are at promise. They possess, tremendous potential, resilience, and strength. Our role is to build bridges that connect them with the people and supports that can help them thrive. By strengthening relationships and creating opportunities for healing, we move beyond simply managing risk and instead cultivate hope, belonging, and pathways to success. One of the most meaningful ways we support our youth is by maintaining and strengthening family connections. In addition to weekly scheduled visitation, our youth participate in scheduled phone calls and FaceTime visits facilitated by myself, Zoe Alexander, social services worker, and senior JCC, Ms. Janelle Grace. These opportunities allow youth to stay connected with parents, siblings, and other loved ones despite the challenges of separation. These interactions do more than provide a conversation. They strengthen and sustain family bonds, promote emotional connection, build trust, and provide a sense of stability. FaceTime, in particular, helps humanize the experience. Youth are able to see the faces of those who care about them, create a connection that goes beyond simply hearing a voice. These moments reinforce a sense of belonging and identity during incarceration and remind young people that they remain connected to a support system that believes in them. Recognizing that supporting youth also means supporting their families, we launched the M&M Project Hope Workshop Series, an 8-week trauma-informed program designed specifically for parents and families of youth serving lengthy commitments. The workshop focused on helping families understand trauma and its impact, develop emotional resilience and healing strategies, rebuild relationships, strengthen communication, establish healthy boundaries, and explore forgiveness and restorative practices. These sessions created a safe space where families could learn to heal and grow together. Our ultimate goal is simple yet powerful: to create lasting change. We strive to foster healing within families, strengthen relationships, and build supportive networks that promote long-term success for both family and their loved ones, youth and their loved ones. Through this work, we are intentionally building bridges that between youth and families, between pain and healing, and between incarceration and hope. When we invest in family engagement, we are investing in hope, healing, and the future. Lasting change does not happen in isolation. It happens through connection, support, and the power of family. By seeing our youth as at promise rather than at risk, we affirm their value, recognize their potential, and help create the conditions for them to succeed not only during incarceration, but long after they return home. Because when families heal, communities heal. And when we strengthen connections, we create pathways to hope, resilience, and brighter futures for the young people we serve. As the African proverb reminds us, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. Through connection, healing, and the power of family, we are ensuring that our young people and their loved ones do not walk this journey alone. Together, we are building stronger families, stronger communities, and brighter futures. Thank you.
Good morning, Chair, members of the board, county leadership, community partners, and guests. A bridge is built to connect people to places they could not reach on their own. In the juvenile division of the Solano County Probation Department, this is what we strive to do every day. My name is Jessica Adcock, and I am proud to represent the juvenile division of the Solano County Probation Department. When many people hear the word probation, they think of enforcement and accountability. And while accountability is an important part of what we do, juvenile probation is about so much more. Every day we work to build bridges between youth and their families, between young people and their communities, and between poor decisions and brighter futures. In juvenile probation, we know that community safety and youth success are not competing goals. They go hand in hand. When we invest in young people and their families, we help create stronger, safer communities for everyone. Every day, youth come into contact with our department during some of the most challenging moments of their lives. Our responsibility is to hold them accountable for their actions, but it is also our privilege to help them recognize that one mistake does not have to define their future. One way we do this is through our juvenile traffic court. For many young drivers, this may be their first interaction with the justice system. We use that opportunity to teach responsibility, safe driving habits, and the importance of making good decisions by combining accountability with education. We help young people understand the impact of their choices while giving them tools to make better ones moving forward. We also recognize that not every young person's mistakes requires a deeper involvement in the justice system. Through our diversion programs, we provide youth and their families the resources, support, and opportunities for accountability while addressing low-level offenses in a way that promotes positive growth and long-term success. Building bridges means meeting youth where they are, and sometimes that means showing up outside of traditional settings. Through programs like Midnight Basketball, our staff have had the opportunity to engage with youth in the community, build positive relationships, have meaningful conversations, and model important social skills. These interactions help foster trust and demonstrate that positive adult connections can make a lasting difference. Our work is strengthened through partnerships. We collaborate with educational resources to include our county community school, facilitate cognitive behavioral groups through our Youth Achievement Center, and offer family preservation services that strengthen the support systems young people need to succeed. For youth who require a higher level of intervention, our juvenile detention facility provides a safe and structured environment that emphasizes accountability, education, rehabilitation, and personal growth. Through programs like RISE, we help youth develop the skills and support the need while gradually preparing them for successful transition back into their families and communities. At the same time, we remain committed to our responsibility of protecting the community through effective supervision and accountability. We provide services and support to youth on supervision, as well as foster and general placement youth, recognizing that every young person has unique challenges and strengths. Our goal is to provide the structure, guidance, and resources necessary to help them make positive choices and build successful futures. The work of juvenile probation is not accomplished by one program or one person. It happens through partnerships with families, schools, law enforcement, community organizations, treatment providers, and one another. It happens through patience, consistency, and a shared belief that young people are capable of change. At its heart, probation is about building bridges. Bridges to accountability, bridges to opportunity, bridges to healing, bridges to education, bridges to family, and ultimately bridges to safer communities and brighter futures. We are honored to serve the youth and families of Solano County, and we remain committed, helping young people overcome challenges, recognize their potential, and become productive members of the community. Thank you.
(1841). John Augustus was credited with being the father of probation. He was a man who believed, and I quote, "The object of the law is to reform criminals and to prevent crime, and not to punish maliciously or from a spirit of revenge." His writings emphasized a good officer is one who believes in rehabilitation, has compassion and humanity, one of good judgment, someone who has integrity, is patient, and has the ability to encourage and guide. These qualities resonate with me and why I became a probation officer. As an officer with Solano County Probation Department, I have the ability to positively impact the community I serve while providing the clients we serve with the tools to change. Fast forward to 2026, 185 years have passed, and it is amazing to see the spirit of John Augustus remain strong. This year, the American Probation and Parole Association highlight how probation builds bridges within the community and with the clients we serve. While the spirit of probation in 1841 still exists, the Solano County Probation Department is committed to bridging the gap from how probation began to its modern state. Solano County Probation is responsive to the modern age. We continue to advance our evidence-based practices. We continue to train in trauma-informed care, cognitive behavior therapy, and motivational interviewing, and statewide approved field tactics. Solano County Probation's commitment to bridge the gap between the community and the clients we serve is continuously changing. Chief Farah has spearheaded the implementation of our soon-to-be strategic plan, a plan that will guide our probation department for years to come. Our department is committed to advancing public safety by holding individuals we service accountable and providing them with education, skills, evidence-based practices that promote positive transformation while dedicating ourselves to supporting victims and survivors. Our department collaborates with community partners and resources, provides mutual aid to our local law enforcement agencies, and attends community events to engage and inform the community we serve. The Solano County Probation Department will continue to serve the community with integrity, accountability, humanity, and innovation. I am proud to be a deputy probation officer with Solano County, and I look forward to further bridging the gap between our department and those we serve as the years progress. On behalf of almost 100 officers, 50 juvenile correctional counselors, our mental health clinicians, our social service staff, our fiscal staff, our collaborative partners, and our support staff, I thank you for recognizing our department, and I thank you for the opportunity to speak to you all today. Thank you.
Good morning, chairs, members of the board, county leadership, and to all. My name is Elizabeth Stevenson, and I've had the privilege of serving with Solano County Probation Department for nearly 6 years. I am honored to be here today representing the Administrative Services Division during Probation Service Week. I work as an accountant in our fiscal unit. When most people think of probation, they often picture officers working directly with clients in the field. What they may not see is the team behind the scenes that helps support those efforts every day. I am proud to be part of that team. This year's theme, Connected for Change, Building Bridges and Supervision, really speaks to me because building bridges is at the heart of what I do. As an accountant, my role is not just about budgets, payments, spreadsheets. It is about connecting people, programs, and resources so that our department can continue serving the community effectively. Every day, I have the opportunity to work with staff from all areas of the department. I collaborate with program teams to support important initiatives, help secure and manage grant funding, and assist clients with questions regarding their financial obligations. Through those interactions, I have learned that meaningful change happens when people work together toward a common goal. One of the most rewarding parts of my job is helping build those connections. Whether I am working with a colleague on a new program, helping a client understand their options, or supporting a project that benefits youth and families, I am reminded that even small actions can make a meaningful difference. Over the years, I have gained a deep appreciation for incredible people who I've worked in this department. I have witnessed the compassion, dedication, and professionalism that probation staff bring to their work every day. From those working directly with youth and adults to those providing support behind the scenes, Everyone plays an important role in helping individuals succeed and strengthening our community. I am grateful to be a part of the department that believes in second chances, values collaboration, and is committed to positive change. I am proud of the bridges we build every day between departments, between services, and most importantly, between people and opportunities. Thank you to the Board of Supervisors for recognizing Probation Service Week and for your continued support of Solano County Probation Department. It is truly an honor to be a part of this team and important work we do for Solano County. Thank you.
I know it's a lot of speakers this morning, and I appreciate the time. But I have to step in here because as we recognize the incredible work done by the probation team, I must acknowledge a tremendous loss within our probation family. This weekend, we lost a deeply respected colleague, a 20-year veteran whose dedication, compassion, and steady presence will continue to resonate long beyond their years of service. Their passing is felt especially strongly in our juvenile detention facility, one that operates 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The work done inside a juvenile detention facility is unlike any other. It requires sacrifice. It means long nights, early mornings, holidays spent on shift, and time away from family. It means stepping into unpredictable situations and supporting young people in some of the most difficult moments of their lives. It calls for emotional resilience, significant patience, commitment to consistency, and a steadfast belief in the possibility of growth and change, even when circumstances are hard. Our colleague embodied all of this. And as we celebrate our department's accomplishments today, we carry our colleague with us. We honor the sacrifices they made, the example they set, and the countless lives they touched. And we honor the team that continues this work in their absence. Each of you who shows up day after day, night after night, to ensure safety, dignity, and opportunity for the youth we serve in the facility. To the probation team, please continue to look out for one another. Grief lands differently for each person, and your well-being matters as much as the work you do. We keep our colleagues' family, friends, and loved ones in our prayers during this painful time. Today we honor excellence, perseverance, and service, and we honor the life and legacy of a colleague who exemplified all three. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. And now I'd like to invite all the folks from probation to come down so we can have a photo. And if we don't fit down here, there's room up on the dais. Go up there and fill them in.
The goal is not to disturb anything here. Okay. We want you, I mean, as much as I love you guys, hey. Good to see you. I think I'll just leave this right here. I'm always afraid that this will spill. There, okay, yeah. No, we're fine. You're fine. What, the chief's big head's in the way? Is that what you're telling me?
The head's in front of me, so I'm going to go to the side of the head. Side of the head. Really well. Good.
So great. I love it. Yeah. All right. Take care. See ya. Everybody's good?
We have additional callers on the line now.
Are we okay?
We're okay.
All right, item number 4, Madam Clerk, public comment, and read the title, please.
Okay, receive a presentation on the Public Defender's selection of Chester Ogsimer as Employee of the Month for July 2026. I do have callers on the line, so I'm going to check and see if
Okay,
they're calling for agenda.
if they want to say something.
Callers on the line, if you are calling to speak on agenda item number 4, please press *3 to raise your hand. Callers on the line, if you are calling to speak on agenda item number 4, please press *3 to raise your hand. Okay, ma'am, they are not raising their hands, and I do not have any cards.
Okay. So we just get to listen to you today. We don't have to vote yay or nay.
Thank you.
We assume that you guys picked the right person for.
We picked the right person.
Good.
Thank
Love
you so
it.
much. Elena D'Agostino, Public Defender. We appreciate the opportunity to recognize our paralegal extraordinaire today, Chester Ogsimer. I'm going to pass to a supervisor, but first I want to say one amazing thing about Chester, and there are many. But he joined our office 5 years ago as an extra help legal secretary, and from that moment, he has been thinking outside the box and looking for ways and suggesting ways that we can do things better, do it faster, more efficiently, fix our forms, all that stuff. He's always been somebody from the get-go who has been very proactive and not just, completing his tasks, but thinking about the big picture and how to better serve our clients. So I will pass to Supervisor, Chief Deputy Felicia Carrington.
Thank you. Well, I guess Elaine and I probably should have talked about what we were going to say about Chester before I got up here, because all of the things she said I was going to say. So Chester, as she stated before, he started in our office in 2020, and he has risen through the ranks. Every year it feels like he's risen through the ranks. Chester is someone who a manager dreams of having on their team. Chester is the person that will find a problem or see a problem, bring it to your attention, tell you what the problem is, tell you how to fix the problem, then go fix it and automate it. And he has done that repeatedly, time and time again. And so for that, I just want to say, Chester, we appreciate everything that you've done. We appreciate your commitment to the community here in Solano County. We appreciate your commitment to the Public Defender's Office. And I can't say enough things about you, and continue to make us better as you always have. And so do you have some words, Chester? Yes.
Good morning, and to the members of the board, Chair Brown, to our Public Defender, Elena, to our chiefs, Chief Deputies, Oscar and Felicia. Thank you very much for this recognition, and Felicia, thank you for your kind words. As my supervisor, you are a great leader and mentor. I wouldn't be here without you, and it is truly an honor. My family and I live, study, and work here in Solano. We live in Supervisor Mashburn's district, District 5, go. So to receive this recognition from the community we love makes this moment especially meaningful. The Public Defender's Office is like a machine with many moving parts. None of us can do our work alone. I want to thank our investigators, our social workers, our advocates, our volunteer interns, our deputy attorneys who support the Clean Slate and Fresh Start programs, which I now lead. I also want to share this honor to our clerical team, composed of the legal secretaries and office assistants. They are close to my heart because I started my work as a legal secretary. They are the heroes of our office, the front lines. They receive the bulk of the complaints from our clients very early in the morning. And as we always say, like, right, Mimi, teamwork always makes the dream work. And please know that when any one of us is recognized here, your hard work is also recognized. And special mention to Alicia. I think it's my suspicion that she's the one who suggested to the Clean Slate Organizing Committee that I join the team back in 2024 because I have Excel sheet or spreadsheet skills. Yes, so this is your fault. Who would have known that that invitation would lead to this day? And so I'm proud to share this honor with all of you. Just the honor, though, I'm keeping the parking spot. This recognition is also meaningful because last weekend we just celebrated Father's Day. And my family is here with me to share this moment. And to my daughter, Emma, I hope this becomes one of your core memories. Remember that you can accomplish great things through hard work and that your gifts are meant to help others. And to my beautiful wife, Vicky, you are my inspiration and reason I do this every day. Thank you for your love and support. I love you both. To our public defender, Elena, to our chiefs, Felicia and Oscar, and to all our deputy public defenders, your passion and compassion to our clients embodies everything that is noble about the legal profession. Finally, to our Lord Almighty, thank you for the strength, the wisdom, and the blessings. In all things, you are glorified. Thank you again, and God bless you all.
I can hear why you picked him. Thank you. Very nice. Okay, items from the public. It is time for us to take public comments. For those of you that are here in person, please complete a speaker card and submit it to the clerk that's on my right. The clerk will call your name. Please come forward to the podium promptly and be ready to speak. For those of you attending the meeting virtually, press *3 to raise your hand to alert the clerk you wish to speak under public comment. The clerk will call out the last 2 digits of your phone number and to let you know that it is time for you to speak. And please limit your comments to 3 minutes. Okay, all right.
Okay, caller on the phone, caller on the line with phone number ending in 11, we can see that you have raised your hand. Please go ahead and press *6 to unmute yourself, state your name if you wish, and you will have 3 minutes.
Hi, my name's Alicia Minion. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Thank you so much. Good morning. I'm calling to request the Board of Supervisors to direct staff to track hyperscale data center projects that may be happening in the area, not necessarily in the county, but outside of the area that might impact Solano County directly or indirectly. And staff is already doing that. Thank you so much. And the reason why I have this idea is because recently the city of Pittsburgh in California they recently approved a hyperscale data center. The name of the project is Aveo Perseus. It's AVAIO. And this particular project, unfortunately, is being placed on what was a golf course. And I thought was interesting is that the power that's going to be provided to this data center is being provided by a joint powers authority called Pittsburgh Power Company. And what I found is Pittsburgh Power Company provides power to other areas of the Bay Area, including Mare Island. And I'm not sure if you were aware of this. I'm not even sure if Vallejo is aware of this. And the reason why I think it can be a concern is, as you know, hyperscale data centers can have can negatively impact an area, miles and miles away. And so I have this general concern that hyperscale data centers often will result in an increase in energy rates. And then also it could just impact the ability to provide power at the same level, or also to use significant amounts of water. And so I wanted to also have the staff look up the story involving Nevada and Lake Tahoe, where the state of Nevada has allowed a significant amount of data centers. These hyperscale data centers are causing the kind of local energy provider there's so much stress on that provider, they're going to walk away from 50,000 residents in Lake Tahoe. So right now there's a search to provide energy when that energy provider leaves. And so this could be, this could occur with any data center that might even be outside of a jurisdiction. It could negatively impact surrounding jurisdictions. Yeah. Anyway, thank you.
Thank you.
Sure.
Next speaker is County Administrator Ian Goldberg.
We're letting Ian speak?
Who decided that?
He's the boss of me.
Oh, okay, that's who decided, okay.
I've switched seats, I'm in a different spot. So Ian Goldberg, I'm the County Administrator. So to Madam Chair, members of the board, I am very excited to be here today to introduce Alex, who's standing behind me. Alex Tengolix is our new Assistant County Administrator. It has been a long search, but we are very excited to welcome Alex to the county family. Alex comes to us from Yolo County, most recently at least, where he served as the Director of Strategic Operations. He has also done a number of other things with Yolo County. I'll just shout out a few things, hopefully not to steal any part of what he might say. But he's worked in budget development, he's worked in economic development, he has served to further their land use and infrastructure, government affairs, policy. He has served as the Chief Labor Negotiator for Yolo County. He has also served as the Executive Director for the Yolo Habitat for Conservation, including implementing the Yolo Habitat Conservation Plan, and then done a number of other things county-related. So he brings a huge amount of county-related experience to Solano County. And so we're very happy to welcome Alex to the team, and we look forward to a very long and successful partnership in serving the board and furthering the mission and priorities of the board. So with that, I'm going to give Alex a microphone.
Yes, good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. Alex Tengolix, very excited to be here today. Want to say thank you to Ian for the very generous introduction. Most recently worked with Yolo County in the County Administrator's Office, where I was involved in all aspects of county operations, from labor relations to budget to our shared advocacy on Delta issues. And most importantly, I look forward to working with all of you to advance the interests of the organization and the community. Thank you.
I'm impressed that it was under 3 minutes. Thank you.
Next speaker is Joseph Joyce.
All right.
Mr. Joyce.
I was just seeing if I got a timer. Thank you.
We'll be timing.
Oh, yeah.
get the timer.
Madam Chair and the board, I just wanted to rise to talk to you guys or give you an update as required about the county fair, since the board generously donated to ag and the livestock. So again, the fair was wonderful. We were blessed with great weather. The junior livestock grew with over 80 more entries than last year. We did raise $70,000 more through the auction. The Sheriff's Department wanted to include in our report that there was not a single arrest. They had one incident they had to respond to over 4 days, so that was a great report. The fair, the most exciting part for me was actually Family Day, where we had over 700 special needs guests arrive on the buses. That's the first time I actually got to participate in it, and what a wonderful experience when you see buses pull up to the fairgrounds. Next year, I hope that I'm able to bring that with our seniors and the senior centers, if I can find the funding for it. The other thing that I came to talk to you about is and poor Mitch Mashburn. In District 5, the 78th annual Bass Derby, the Chamber of Commerce has notified us that they are not going to be able to do the festival. The Bass Derby is going to happen over the 3 days. The Lions Club is going to produce the annual car show. I'm the chair, go figure. But the annual festival itself, the food and the vendors, they've canceled. We as the Lions have been asked to see maybe that we could take care of it. Because we as Shalou Car Club do festivals, right? We're looking as Lions to be able to take it over. What I'm looking for is that I get a supervisor to help me co-sponsor it in the theme of what Cassandra and them guys have been doing. So, Mitch, you're up. Thank you. Yeah, you're welcome. I'll let you know what I need.
I wouldn't expect anything but that.
Next speaker is Tony Wade.
And I already bought one of the books.
You already
Make sure
did,
Everybody
yes.
tells, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
so did Supervisor Williams as well. So my name's Tony Wade. Good morning, everyone. Chair Brown, board, staff, citizens. We could do this at the beginning when this thing is full. That'd be super awesome. I'm just saying. But anyway, in 2021, I started writing local history books. And my first one was Growing Up in Fairfield, California. And then in 2022, Lost Restaurants of Fairfield, California, for those in the back. Then Armijo High School, Fairfield, California. You see the theme. And then Curveball, Growing Up in Vacaville, came out in 2024. Last year, I had True Crime Stories of Fairfield, California. It was a big hit. And now, coming out on July the 7th, which is the start of 707 Week, which I didn't even know about, is Main Street, Fairfield, California, Bygone Businesses. And what this is about is businesses that used to be in Solano County seat, including those from some of the old timers. Remember Napa Dashery, the drive-in that used to be here, Wonder World, which was like the Walmart of the 60s, Hawks Welding, Catanasso Winery, business people like Arthur Garbin, Arnie Diggerud, Rudy Ramirez, whose their signatures are still here in this town. They're progeny, some of them are still in this town. And then it doesn't cover every business in Solano County. There's no way I could do that. It's not an encyclopedia, but I do hit on a lot of them, going from, unfortunately, Anheuser-Busch, the big ones like that, to Tillotson's Lawnmower Hospital, which was on Union Avenue. People will remember. Again, this comes out on July the 7th. It is published July the 7th by the History Press. You can get it online. But I'm going to be on KUIC on this Friday at 8 a.m. Talking to the legendary John Young about the book. And then I'm going to be at Joe's Buffet from 12 to 3 this coming Saturday. And then a couple weeks from that, I will be at Dave's Giant Hamburgers. These are Fairfield institutions. If you're from Fairfield, I'm not going to give you the address. You should know the address. And I'll be there from 12 to 3 as well at Dave's. And you can get more information on my website, which is www.tonywadeaccidentalhistorian.com. And I would ask if you could just take a picture with me. I know that other people got pictures because they did something, that was for the county. I just did this for me, and hopefully y'all like it too. My first book is my all-time favorite, but as for the layout of this book and the way it came together, this is my second favorite. And so I'm really hoping people will buy this book and enjoy it. And it ain't all about money. It'll be at the library as well, as my other books are, at Solano County Library. All right? If I can get a picture, that'd be super awesome. Thank you so much.
We're going to do pictures.
All right, I appreciate that.
Okay, I'm on Main Street.
Okay, I can come up there? Sure. Yes. I have permission to, yeah. All right, I'm just going to jump up there like I own the joint.
Well, you're a taxpayer, so you kind of do.
Okay, and which one? I'm Army alum. Army, I know you. I know which one.
I would like the one that has Matt Garcia's face on it, because he was one of my students.
Okay.
Yeah.
You just toss me anyone.
Okay. I lost restaurants, and I hold these two.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. Are we good? Can you get us, Matthew? Okay.
Oh, wait, let me move that. Okay.
One, two, three. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. No, you're fine. Got it?
Yeah, thank you so much.
Probably.
Thank you so much.
Oh, my gosh.
Scared him a little.
Next speaker is Will Coelho.
Good morning, Solano County Supervisors. My name is Will Coelho. I'm a professional firefighter, and I currently reside in Fairfield. I've lived and worked in Solano County for the past 9 years. I stand before you today to voice my concern as a citizen over the current emergency response to the fire districts of Solano County. I strongly believe that the closest, currently staffed, and most qualified fire departments should respond to high-risk areas. I'm not sure if you're all aware, but an individual passed away at our county park, Sandy Beach, last Saturday. Now, unfortunately, fire paramedics were not the first responders. The closest, most qualified firefighter paramedics were not initially dispatched. Upon arrival, the district duty officer realized the severity of this situation and called for the professional fire department and its state-of-the-art equipment. Resuscitation efforts were unsuccessful. This is not the first time this has happened. We've had little boys drown at 8 years old. The fire department had CPR cards, not even EMT cards. Last year, there was a drowning. They did not initially dispatch the fire department that had water rescue capabilities. To me, this is unacceptable. We are better than this. I implore you to create a mutual threat zone to the Sandy Beach area for mutual response. ALS response should be automatic aid, not called for after the fact. Seconds matter, and especially that far out in the county, that is 30 miles from the nearest hospital. The summer season's upon us. You don't have a lifeguard at that beach. Paramedic-staffed fire engines with water rescue capabilities need to be dispatched to every medical call first in all areas of the county that have this capability. Who would you want responding to your family members that are dying? You would want the closest, most qualified, and immediately available fire department. That's who you would want. If you do not provide automatic aid, of the most qualified advanced life support paramedics with water rescue capabilities to Sandy Beach, you're going to lose lives and you're going to lose my vote, because I am tired of looking in the eyes of these family members and letting them know I did everything I could to save their family. It's not true. It's time to change. In conclusion, all I ask is that you send the best immediately when people are having the worst days of their lives. This has to come from you, our elected officials. We owe this to the community, we owe this to the deceased, and we owe this to ourselves. I thank you all for your time.
Next speaker is Michael Hayes.
Yes, thank you, Board. Michael Hayes. I wanted to speak about the recent departure of the Mayor of Fairfield, Catherine Moy. I was greatly affected by this. I think this is extremely shameful how she was essentially hounded out of office. One of the few people who was asking really tough questions early on about California Forever project here in Solano County. And so I wanted to just spotlight this and question the integrity and the level of IQ that is being displayed by the Fairfield City Council and residents of Fairfield. This is extremely shameful. Regardless of your opinions about the mayor as an individual, I thought she stepped into the position and she asked the tough questions, and that's what you're supposed to do when you hold a leadership position. No one else is doing that. So I'm extremely ashamed with residents of Fairfield, as well as for the Fairfield City Council. I also want to talk about the Collinsville shipyard project, which is a component of California Forever. And the main focus for Solano County really should be to help the city of Vallejo reconstitute itself from the departure many decades ago of the U.S. Navy. Vallejo has been ravaged economically by the loss of the Navy. Putting a shipyard out in the middle of farm fields there in Collinsville, that is absolutely outrageous, ridiculous, stupid. You could get, if they want to build large tankers and large ships that are too much for Mare Island to handle, they could easily put floating dry docks out in San Pablo Bay, dry docks which are very similar to the one that's half sunk there at Hunters Point, and build all the major tankers and major cargo ships that they want to build. But you know what? I don't even think that's going to happen, because the industry would have been doing it decades ago. Industry would have been building these things, but it's just cheaper to build this stuff overseas with the labor costs and the rules and safety rules and whatnot. So this, when I look at California Forever, all I see is a giant real estate shenanigan. And I just encourage all of you here on the board to continue your vigilance and hopefully display leadership and act accordingly. Thank you much.
Joseph Johnson.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Joseph Johnson. I am a 55-year resident of Vallejo, California, and Solano County. And again, by way of background, I don't talk about this too much, but am a former United States Air Force F-4 Phantom jet fighter pilot. And I say that to make a point here. I was also a volunteer at the Continentals of Omega Boys and Girls Club in Vallejo, California, which services Benicia and Fairfield as well, because they don't have a Boys and Girls Club, and many of our young men and women come from those environs that I just mentioned. 14 years ago, that Vallejo institution, which was founded on November 1st, 1966, became defunct after my friend and founder, Fillmore Graham, passed. He's an institution in Vallejo, and for a lot of young men, he was their daddy, their mother, their grandfather, and their grandmother, and brothers and his sisters. And so I was his right-hand man doing fundraising for him for more than a generation. And I could not stop after he passed away. I promised him on his deathbed that I would get that institution back before the good Lord decided to take me to be with him. And about 2 years ago, I stood before you in this august body and announced to you that I was going forth to retrieve that club and to reactivate it. And with the blessings of the Holy Father and the support of 17 Vallejo and Fairfield citizens, as well as one from Washington, D.C., that goal has been realized. So within the next 90 days, that club will come back in active status. And I'm so proud of that because that's my little baby that I have had with me more than a generation. And I want to thank and applaud the efforts of actually 4 members of this body. Because I left Mr. Mashburn out, doesn't mean he didn't do anything. But especially my good buddy, John Vasquez, who I've known for almost 40 years. I hope he's doing well. I know he's not here today. But I'd like to express support and thanks to Supervisors Williams, James, and Brown for their efforts on my behalf, on behalf of the club. And one last thing, I got 8 seconds. C.C. Sabathia would not be in the Hall of Fame today were it not for my good friend, Fillmore Graham, because he saved that young man's life more than once. And I share that with you and just ask for your support as we go forth on a campaign of raising $5 million over the next 5 years so that club will live long after I'm gone and maybe a few of you are gone. Thank you very much.
There's one other caller on the line. I'd like to give them one opportunity just in case. Caller on the line, if you wish to speak under items from the public, please push *3 to raise your hand. Okay, they're not raising their hand.
So we're good?
We are good.
We are good on public comments? All right, so Ian, are there any additions to the regular calendar?
Yes, Chair, we do have one change today. We'd like to request to move item number 25 from the Public Defender's Office to the regular calendar from the consent calendar. So if we could move that to the front end of the regular calendar, we'll make a brief presentation. We'd appreciate it. And that's the only change we have for you today.
Okay. Are there any objections on the board? All right, so we'll do that. Okay. So may I have a motion to approve the agenda with the words as amended on the one we just did, I believe, yeah. Number 25. Yeah, I just didn't write down number 25, okay. All right, it's been properly moved and seconded.
I
With-
apologize, I missed the second.
Okay, yeah, with the words as amended on number 25. Okay,
So ordered by a vote of 4-0. Oh, okay.
okay.
And item 25, adopt a resolution approving the appointment. Oh, my apologies. My apologies, I got mixed up because I moved my agenda too soon. All right, so public comment on consent calendar.
That would be fine.
Apologies, ma'am.
It is okay. It's not as if we haven't worked on this, and there's always changes, and yeah, so go ahead to the clerk.
Okay, callers on the line, if you wish to speak under public comment for consent calendar, please press *3 to raise your hand. Callers on the line, if you wish to speak on an item on the consent calendar, please press *3 to raise your hand. Okay, ma'am, I have no callers raising their hand, and I have no cards for the consent calendar.
Any comments on consent? Okay.
Apologies, I do have one card. I had it over in a different stack. I have a card for agenda item number 33.
Okay.
I do have one public comment card.
All right, so let's do the public, and then I'll come back to the board.
Okay, James Dunbar.
Morning, Chair Brown and members of the board. My name is James Dunbar. I am the General Manager for Listec International. We are a fertilizer manufacturing company with our U.S. headquarters here in Fairfield, Solano County. I'm here to add my comments to item 33 on today's consent calendar, the annual biosolids land application report. For the last 10 years, Listec has been serving the agricultural community here in Solano County with a high nutrient, organic-based soil amendment licensed by the California Department of Food and Agriculture. Our product allows local farmers and ranchers to have an economic and locally made alternative to traditional chemical and synthetic-based fertilizers used in the past. We are in support with the staff recommendations for today's item, but we do have concerns about the adequacy of the recent study, which makes up an attachment to the staff report. We believe that the study does not correctly characterize the issues related to certain substances which can be found in biosolids. In fact, these same substances are found in our everyday household and consumer products, including commercially available fertilizers, pesticides, and herbicides. The study inappropriately uses biosolids as a major source of these substances. Given the occurrence of these substances over the last 60 years, it's not realistic to use a single sampling study to make even the minimum determinations and statements we have read in the report. Like I said, we support the staff report findings, but we also want to state that the study report should not be used incorrectly in making any future decisions. The data and science behind this topic are incomplete at all levels, local, state, and federal. Thank you.
Is that in a public comment? All right, so I'll come to the board, and I believe I heard Supervisor, I'm sorry, I'm looking at you right now, but I heard you, but I thought you had something that you wanted pulled. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that'll be fine.
27, 28, and I wanted to speak to item 30.
So on 27, 28, and item 30, is it just to discuss something, or you want to make some
I have
changes?
some questions on 27 and 28, and then I'm just going to make a statement on item 30.
Okay, so I'll come back to you in just a second.
Yes.
Supervisor Mashburn?
I just wanted to. Sorry.
That's okay.
Might work. The beat on it.
Sometimes it helps.
There we go. All right. So two things I just wanted to speak on. I don't have questions on them. One of them was number 30 as well.
Okay.
And the first, though, is number 9. And that is the resolution and plaque. She's not here and didn't come out for a public recognition, but I would like to give a shout out to Francis Stokes from HR. Yeah. I spent hundreds with an S and a couple of zeros of hours in training with Ms. Stokes over the period of 25 years that she worked for us at Solano County. I want to thank her for that service, and our county employees are in a better place, and our county HR is in a better place for her efforts. So thank you, Francis. I hope you enjoy your retirement.
All right.
And then
Give me just 1 second.
Yes, ma'am.
Supervisor James, did you have anything? No. Okay, if you do, let me know. Okay.
Okay, and then I'll go back to number 30, and then I'll pass 30 off to you.
Yep, that sounds perfect.
I just wanted to also give a shout out to our folks in Park and Recreation. We did not have them down here like we did probation, and we have done for a lot of other of our departments, because they're out working today, hard, and they're small but mighty. There's not a lot of them, so you can't pull them away to bring them down here to do this. But Our parks are a gem for our county. They are wonderful, and they are that because of the staff that take care of them and that take care of all of us while we're there. So with that, I just wanted to give a shout out to them, recognizing Parks and Recreation Month in July. Thank you.
Okay, so we'll continue with number 30 to keep the theme going, and then we'll go back and do 27 and 28.
Thank you,
Okay,
Chair.
sounds good.
Well, yes, that is true. I want to definitely thank the staff. Actually, the first staff that I actually met was Chris, and he was very, very, very helpful. But I could not let this pass without acknowledging the Park and Recreation Month. I do serve on the Solano Open Space Committee as the chair, and as a former employee of Solano Land Trust that worked on the Patuino Water Kadohidihi Open Space Park, I want to make sure that our community recognize and understand the significance of our park system, and to really get out there and enjoy those open spaces that we have right here in Solano County. Take advantage of those opportunities to not only go hike and spend time with family, but learn about the background of the Yoshidihi, or the Patwin people, and just get it out there and enjoy it. So again, I just wanted to say thank you for putting this on our consent calendar to recognize Park and Recreational Professionals Day, and to thank all those serving in our Parks and Recs department, just to thank them for their hard work and dedications, and as well as our park rangers. So again, thank you all so much for your dedication to preserving and protecting our parks. Thank you.
And we can do that after the soccer, right, in FIFA? Okay, just want to make sure there's priorities. Okay. All right, so you want to do 27 then 28?
Yes, I definitely, I just had a couple of questions. One question on 27, one question on 28. Let me turn to that. Okay.
So Chair, we're going to have the sheriff's team come forward to answer any of those questions.
Yeah, no, we excited somebody in the audience, and I got Robin to show up and everybody. Oh, okay.
Well, I'm going to kind of like put the questions together because I feel like they apply to both.
Both grants?
Yes. So in reference to the grant, and the first one is number 27. It's actually the statement that was here, and I didn't really know what that meant. And it says that, here it says the Director of Administrative Services will take any actions necessary to obtain it. And I thought, what does that mean? And then I read the report. I still couldn't figure out what those actions are that would be taken to actually obtain this grant, which is number 27. And then I'll tell you my question on 28, because it's, again, a Homeland Security grant. And I know that at one time, there has been conditions applied to grants from Homeland Security. There usually had been some mandates and conditions that went along with the funding, which would require federal immigration enforcement, some way of working with them. And I know right now the courts have that on hold currently, but just hypothetically, to say that they did not prevail in court, are there any conditions applied to this that requires going outside of what the state of California recommends, that we participate for federal immigration enforcement and information sharing?
Okay, so I'll answer the question on 27 first, which is EMPG. First, both of these grants are federal funds, so they fall under the same procurement requirements and any overall restrictions from the federal government, although they each have their own notice of funding with their own intricacies of what the funding can be used for. So the obtain piece is the application that we submit to the state, and then the state submits to the feds.
Okay, the question is, when there's a statement that you'll take any actions necessary to obtain and administer this grant, can you tell me what does that mean?
Sure, so there's a series of documents that have to be submitted for consideration to be approved for the funding. For example, we submit a pre-application that they evaluate to make sure that it's going to fit within the larger scope of the grant, because the state is applying for the grant overall, and we're a subrecipient of the state. So we submit our projects to the state, and they evaluate them, and then there's a number of other things that we have to review and sign, and then once we get further along the process, the state will say, okay, we're okay with your projects, go ahead and submit those projects on the actual application form, and then that application goes to the federal government. And then if there are questions from FEMA, they ask that of Cal OES. If Cal OES can't answer them, they will ask that of us. And so we go through the process of getting our projects all the way through to FEMA approval, and then back down through Cal OES to us.
So are there any mandates requiring immigration reinforcement participation?
No.
No, okay, that's what I just wanted to know if that
There are a number of mandates that these grants have, like Homeland Security has national priorities identified where we have to spend in certain areas, but none of it has to do with immigration enforcement. And since this grant goes through Cal OES, there's no actions that would violate state law.
That's what I was wondering.
Yeah.
Because when it said anything, I'm like, well, what does that really mean in context, right? That could mean
it's a great question.
Anything.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
It's anything within the confines of the notice of funding for that grant.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yes. I honestly, my main concern was, are we going to be required to then now, because we asked for these funding dollars, be required? I mean, we already, of course, participate in things, but going above and beyond.
We will not do anything that violates state law.
Okay, that's what I wanted to just make sure.
Yeah.
And so that's why I asked on both of the grants, because I wasn't sure if the federal government was trying to force upon this county us going outside of what our state states how we're going to respond when it comes to immigration.
Yeah, good question.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you for answering. All right, I feel good about that with those answers. So I know we haven't put forth the agenda for approval, but I'm willing to put it forth for approve the consent calendar.
Okay. Are we okay?
I'll second the consent.
Okay. All right, so I have a motion to approve the consent calendar on items 5 through 33. Oh, it helps if I vote too, sorry.
So ordered by a vote of 4-0.
Okay.
Okay.
Now we take it.
Yeah. Item number 25.
Yes. Is there any public comments or anything for 25? Anybody? Okay.
No, ma'am. Adopt a resolution approving the appointment of a retired annuitant mental health clinician licensed limited term project to perform the services funded under the 2-year Office of State Public Defender, OSPD Expanded Public Defense Services Holistic Defense Grant through May 15th, 2028.
Okay.
Elena D'Agostino, Public Defender. I'm asking for approval for this resolution to hire a retired annuitant to perform the services under the grant received from the Office of the State Public Defender. We've done a few recruitments, was unable to find a candidate. We did identify a psychologist who's retired from CDCR. She is willing to come in and perform the services as a licensed mental health clinician, perform assessments, and we'd ask for permission for that approval of the resolution for that purpose.
Do we have any public comment? Do we have any comments up here from the board on that request?
Okay, caller on the line, if you wish to speak on agenda item number 25, please press *3 to raise your hand. Caller on the line, if you wish to speak on agenda item number 25, please press *3 to raise your hand. Okay, ma'am, they are not raising their hand, and I do not have any cards.
Okay, so. Okay, it's been properly moved and seconded. Do we have all the right legal words in there that we need?
So I'm told it's all been vetted.
Okay,
Yeah.
just want to make sure, because it's important. Yeah.
So ordered by a 3-0 vote.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, it's nice to see you.
Good to see you.
Okay, so to the clerk, I believe we're on item 34.
Yes, ma'am.
Public comment, read the title, all that good fun stuff.
Receive a follow-up presentation regarding the establishment and composition of advisory committee structure for the Solano County Local Emergency Medical Services Agency and LEMSA, and provide direction regarding the preferred advisory committee structure. I do not have any cards for this item. Caller on the line, if you are calling to speak on agenda item number 34, please press *3 to raise your hand. Caller on the line, if you are calling to speak on agenda item number 34, please press *3 to raise your hand. Okay, they are not raising their hand.
Okay. So staff, you get to do a presentation. And the reason I know that is that I have a PowerPoint right here.
Well, first we'll start off with introductions.
Hello, I'm Ray Cohen, Director of Health and Social Services.
Dr. Cameron Kaiser, Acting Public Health Officer.
Benjamin Gammon, EMS Administrator. So we brought this back about a month ago with the transferring from the SCMSC to the LEMSA, coming back to the Board of Supervisors, and the next step that we need to do. So a little bit of a background to bring us back is December 2025, Solano County adopted an ordinance amending Chapter 7.1 of the Solano County Code to return the LEMSA authority directly to Solano County Board of Supervisors. May 2026, the board approved the resolution to formally withdraw from the Solano Emergency Medical Service Cooperative. We used to call it the SCMSC. May 2026, the board's considered a recommendation of the established and composure of the LEMSA Advisory Committee. The board requested staff to return at a future meeting and provide a little bit more options of what surrounding counties are doing and best practices. And that's where we are today. So just a little bit of a summary of what this committee that we're asking you guys for approval to move forward on. The goal of the EMS Advisory Committee is to provide stakeholder input, enhances the emergency medical systems in Solano. So this is patient care outcome. This is improvements, areas that we can actually enhance Solano County. So this is nothing to do with the contract, picking any kind of ambulance company or any kind of response times. This is purely stakeholder. It's due to the advisory nature of the committee. It's really more of an input than a voting, and I know that we got focused in on that last time. The committee is intended to provide stakeholder input to the EMS agency and the Board of Supervisors, and may include the decisions on topics such as clinical, operational system issues, system planning, dispatch communication coordination, community EMS issues, and the review of the system data. just like I kind of said before, the items that would not be included would be contract, financial, response times, or any kind of procurement for any provider. So what we bring to you is our three options. Option one is the advisory committee. It's locally defined membership. This is the customizable option. This is provide stakeholder input, statutory constraints. This is custom made. There's no restraints. Option two is kind of a cookie cutter for the state of California. The state requires EMCC, which is Emergency Medical Care Committee. Actually, it's mandated in certain counties that actually have 2 lines of service, which Solano County does not have, and that's community paramedicine and also alternate destination. Neither of those Solano County has in their system. So option 2 has a very black and white who needs to be on the committee. The Board of Supervisors does have the obligation of not just approving with the EMS agency of who's going to be on it, but actually electing those individuals on that board. And option 3 would be no advisory structure, no formal mechanism for stakeholder improvement. We do still hold an EMS quarterly meeting outside of what we're asking here. This is kind of, with the loss of SMSC, we kind of had a structured advisory committee, and then we had our stakeholder meeting right after. Both of them kind of share the same kind of data and input and improvements that we need to do, and showing what Solano County does good and what we need to improve on. We're looking at just board discretion on where we should go from here.
Anybody on the board with a comment or not yet? Okay.
Yeah.
Just because we're good. We're good. I just want to make sure nobody had a comment to interrupt you, Ben.
Yeah, no worries. We can go back to any slide if anybody does have any notes or concerns.
All right.
So the requirements of an EMCC, just like I said, it's required by the state if it has 2 of those programs. Neither of those are in Solano. The annual review requirements, all ambulance services operating within the county, emergency medical care offered within the county, community CPR, life-saving training programs, first aid practices countywide, and it has, like I said, a very detailed who needs to be on this membership. Now, those 4 items are still going to be discussed in my quarterly meetings that are already discussed and planned, and also if it would be in the advisory committee too. We, per the board, you guys wanted to see what was around the surrounding counties. Out of the 6 counties that surround Solano County, we found that 4 have EMCCs.
How you feel?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Did the gremlins show up?
It's all right. Well, all right, so back. So in the surrounding counties, we found that 4 have emergency medical care committees and 2 have advisory committees. So San Joaquin and Sacramento have advisory teams custom made to their county that they can change and they can enhance their programs. Sonoma, Yolo, Contra Costa, and Napa all have EMCCs. Per staff, even preparing this PowerPoint, I went above and beyond and actually asked a lot of these administrators and directors of these programs that had the EMCC, why did you guys go to the EMCC versus advisory? And a lot of them, it's just the way that it has been for 20 to 30 years. Nobody really had a good answer. Even some, they don't really have a state EMCC, they just called it an EMCC. So it's really hard to gather that data. And especially when you're kind of trying to go from the state model. I really like the advisory side of it because we can custom make it just like the SMSC did prior. We already kind of went over that. This is another slide that kind of breaks down the members of the committee. And it would be very similar to what staff brought to the Board of Supervisors last time. San Joaquin has, which I'll read, EMS agency leadership, which would be in all of these, hospitals, ambulance providers, fire agencies, law enforcement, EMS dispatch, EMT and paramedic field personnel for San Joaquin. Sacramento County has ALS ground transport, which is ALS. That's going to be a paramedic responding unit. ALS, advanced life support air transport providers. Basic life support, which is BLS providers. Training providers, hospital systems, and law enforcement agencies. Now bringing us to the other 4 counties that have their EMCCs. And as you can see, I mean, I can read these individually, but they're all kind of all over the place. They have a little bit what the state requires, and then they've all added something that's unique for their county in there too. When it comes down to it, what we're proposing that the advisory committee membership is that would best serve Solano County is that we have 3 hospital systems here in Solano County. So we would recommend that there would be 3 representatives from each hospital provider. We have 2 trauma centers here in Solano County, so we'd want to make sure that there's a representative on both of the trauma centers. Public safety answering points, these are dispatch centers. We'd have 1 representative there. The way that we're moving forward with the emergency medical dispatch, this is key in the future for Solano. Something new that we used to have an SMSC, we used to have just 1 fire chief. We want to really focus in on 2 different kind of fire departments. We have the city and then we have the districts. So we want to make sure that there's a representative from both the district and the city. So there would be 2 fire personnel, a community member, someone that we would recommend with some kind of experience, retired, somebody that's passionate about EMS in the system. Behavioral health representative, that is a big concern here with EMS and pre-hospital care. Exclusive operating area, EOA and ambulance provider. And also a section 201 ambulance provider, which we currently have as Vacaville Fires. They are 201, so they're not out to bid, which our current RFP is right now. So we'd have a provider in there from our exclusive operating 911 system and also our fire department that provides 911 experience. And from last meeting to this meeting, we've added basic life support, interfacility transport. This is key too, which I found with the additional research that we were doing, that we have about 8 to 9 other companies that provide interfacility transports in the county. So I believe that they should have a seat at the table, and if there's any kind of improvement on that aspect of picking up those patients to get to where they need to go. On the county staff, you would have your county health officer, your medical director, and your EMS administrator. And that ends the slides, and I'm ready for questions, and I can go back to any slides you guys would like.
Okay. I'm not seeing anything on my computer yet. Anybody? Okay, go ahead.
Sorry, there it goes. Takes a second to get it going.
Not a problem.
All right, it's not so much a question as just I wanted to put out there for the board that I support the staff's recommendation in option 1, which is the advisory committee, because we have a unique county where we do have a fire agency that provides paramedic services, and also because I feel that it behooves us, as we heard during public comment from a very passionate firefighter, to look at how we provide services within the county, and having those folks have a voice in this recommendation to the board is important. And so with that, I would like to, if nobody has an objection and there's not any further public comment, I'd like to move the item with option 1.
I don't have any.
Okay. So it's been properly moved and seconded. I'm not sure if the clerk heard that there was a second. Okay. So if I can put that into slide proportions, we're looking at just slide 9, where everything was mentioned.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So it's always good for the public to know. I can go back and read that. All right, it's been properly moved and seconded. I'm not seeing anybody who wishes to speak to it. Is there anybody? Oh, okay.
I forgot to ask a question. I just realized that. When it, turn my mic on.
Okay.
I'll get in trouble with Alicia. Turn on my mic. I forgot to ask, I had wrote my question and forgot to ask you. In reference to the community member, you said would it be like some type of annuity of someone or someone with an extensive background in this area? How would you make the determination?
It could be. It's somebody that's not affiliated and currently working in the system, so it could be anybody as a member of the community.
Oh, it could be in, and then what criteria would you use to make their selection?
We would look at somebody that actually would know, number one, would live here in the county, know somewhat of what EMS is, and be able to get on there, but it's not a necessity. We look to see about who would apply and do most likely an interview process to see who the best selection is.
Okay. All right, I just was wondering how would they find out about it? Just going to go on our website? I mean, how are they going to find out to apply as a community member?
I think what we're going to do is probably bring it out to our EMS quarterly, to all our stakeholders, announce it to our community. We could definitely make it public, but that should be no problem. People getting to know that it is an option for a community member to be that we're looking for somebody from the community.
Okay, I just was wondering because I saw Sonoma that had at-large community members with an S. It wasn't just a member. They seem to have more than one, and you know our county continues to grow. So I'm assuming probably in time, if there's a need for additional community members, that it would be open for them to participate, seeing if it's warranted.
Yeah, I would check with council if that's something. If we had to add members, we'd have to bring back to the board. Yeah,
you would be okay. All right, those were. I just wanted to know how we were going to incorporate our community partner in the space to provide that advice.
Yeah, and just like I believe Chair Brown asked for us to come back quarterly, that would be one of the updates too, if that's something that we want to move forward of adding more members.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you, Chair Brown. That concludes my questions.
Supervisor James, we're good? Okay. All right, so I guess we get to vote, guys. That's what it's looking like. We all have agreed. Make sure that our
So ordered by a
writer.
vote of 4-0. Sorry.
No, because anytime you see Tony, he always shows the picture to say, you guys work well together. So anyway. All right, so give me a second. All right, item number 35. Oh, thank you, guys. I'm
Thank you.
sorry. You know, it's kind of nice to see you in a different place sometimes. All right, so to the clerk.
Consider adopting a resolution calling an election and requesting consolidation with the November 3rd, 2026 statewide general election and requesting election services from the Registrar of Voters to submit to the registered voters of the county a proposed ordinance amending Chapter 11, Article 2 of the Solano County Code to increase the transient occupancy tax rate in the unincorporated area of the county from 5% to 12% and make related changes. And there is a 4/5 vote required for this.
Okay. I loved your data last time we met. That was really good. I love that. So,
So good morning, Chair Brown and Board of Supervisors. Denise Dix, Assistant Treasurer Tax Collector, County Clerk. I'm here to bring that back, the TOT increase back. It is a resolution for your consideration that you would place a measure on the November 2026 ballot that would increase the transient occupancy tax in the unincorporated area of the county from 5% to 12%. This would also update the related sections of Chapter 11, Article 2 of the County Code. And like she said, the action does require a 4/5 vote. The resolution also includes a request for election services from Registrar of Voters to administer the measure and the delegation of authority to the County Administrator, County Council, and to take necessary steps to place the measure on the ballot. So short and sweet, that's what I got. Any questions?
any questions, guys? No. Cassandra, anything? Okay. All right, so are there public comments to the clerk of the board?
Caller on the line, if you wish to speak on agenda item number 35, please press *3 to raise your hand. Caller on the line, if you wish to speak on agenda item number 35, please press *3 to raise your hand. They're not raising their hand, and I have
Okay. It's been properly moved and seconded, so we get to vote. And
It was?
But I'll move it.
A second.
oh, okay, I just kind of made that internal, okay, my brain thinks I heard it. Oh, my God. Oh, sorry. Okay. That's fine, no, it's fine.
So ordered by a vote of 4-0.
Okay. All right, so we got it. Yes, thank you for all your work to make it happen. I look forward to seeing what happens in November.
Thank you.
Thank you. Great. Okay, item number 36 to the clerk of the board. If you could read the title, and do we have any public comment?
Consider adopting a resolution calling an election requesting consolidation with the November 3rd, 2026 statewide general election and requesting election services from the Registrar of Voters to submit to county voters a proposed ordinance amending Article 12 of Chapter 11 of the Solano County Code to modernize and expand the county's business license tax structure for commercial energy production and resource extraction businesses and increase business license tax rates. And this also requires a 4/5 vote. I do not have any cards for this item. Caller on the line, if you wish to speak on agenda item number 36, please press *3 to raise your hand. Caller on the line, if you wish to speak on agenda item number 36, please press *3 to raise your hand. I do not have anyone raising their hands.
Okay. All right, fifth floor.
Yes, good morning. James Wiesek, Director of Resource Management. With me is JT Lee and Misty Kaltrider. And we are back from 2 weeks ago to provide more information on what we're proposing as Measure E as a business license tax update. Let's see. So on June 9th, the board directed staff to come back with additional information, and it was a return on this date with a resolution to place the business license tax measure on the November 3rd ballot. We were asked to look at any ways to increase the proposed taxes, as well as evaluate the inclusion of data centers. The data centers was a pretty heavy lift, so we'll have some additional information about data centers and some options for the board to take. Additionally, between that time, staff met with the Solano County Taxpayer Association, and we answered some of their questions and had a good dialogue with them so they could understand what we're proposing here. And so I felt that was a pretty good opportunity to outreach and get an understanding of what their concerns were. This slide is really just a tax rate summary. It shows the different business entities that will be taxed with a business license, and then we have the June 9th valuations, and then we show on the far right column where we were able to raise it effectively. We weren't able to go much larger because of some history with previous lawsuits from PG&E with regards to a differentiation between the increase in rate and what other entities would pay. And so our stab at it was to just raise the wind turbine up to 0.0008 kilowatts as opposed to the 0.0007. We moved the BESS up to $1.50 per megawatt hour. Natural gas, we looked to move it up to 0.3. And then on the data centers, we had no proposed tax rate. So for the purposes of the item, the initial rate we looked at was 0.12. And as we go through the presentation, we'll explain how that is just a starting point, it's a beginning point, and we'll have some discussion with regards to that. Any questions on sort of the summary?
Real quick, yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So because of a previous lawsuit filed by PG&E, we can't do more than 8 millionths of a cent?
We could do more, but we risk a lawsuit potentially challenging it. And so
I from a personal standpoint and the standpoint of the citizens of Solano County, I would like, just to put it out there, I'd like to risk it, right? Because 8 millionths of a cent on a kilowatt for the power that's going out of our county. We just heard them talk about the power that's going from our wind turbines into the new station they're going to put in there that's going to go across the bay to Pittsburgh, right? We know that project's going through, and it's going to, so again, they're pillaging our resources. They're taking our power, our wind, our power, at the expense of our residents and pushing it out there across the bay to other folks. So an increase in the rate here is not going to affect our residents, right? This is the power that's going across the bay.
Yes.
So if they raise the rates for the folks across the bay, 1/8 of a cent, they're not gonna feel that. And our residents aren't really gonna benefit that much from it. But if we raise that rate to, I don't know, 10 cents per kilowatt hour, then they're gonna raise the rate across the bay, like they always do, because that's PG&E. And our residents are actually gonna realize a benefit of more than $350,000 for people coming in and pillaging their resource.
And so for us, we did some initial analysis, brought back a recommendation. So
Right, I
the
get
board
it.
can provide, we can take a recommendation from the board and adjust that as well.
I'm just throwing it out there for my peers.
Yeah.
You know? Ain't the first time I've been sued for something.
Just through the chair.
Go ahead.
I appreciate you, Supervisor Mashburn, and that you're standing on principle. But what would be the cost of a lawsuit, especially during a difficult budget year?
I don't have an answer to that.
County council's
Yeah, I
just
know.
looking at us going, when are you guys gonna calm down?
She was looking at me like that the whole time I was talking. But I had to get it out there. They
No,
gotta know
I get it.
that we're trying to represent them. And at
Yeah.
least, you know.
Well, I mean, if we're talking about corporate greed, they're one of many. I'm looking at Budweiser doing what they did at Christmas time, which was wrong. So anyways, I needed to put that out too, because that's how I feel on that one. Yeah, which is why down the road, as whatever new features come out in terms of getting energy to have power, is that we need to make sure, which is why we're doing this now for some of it. So, yeah, anyway.
Understood.
Yep.
We'll continue, and obviously we can come back for more dialogue.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
So, understanding the law, how frequently can we come back to make these requests, as inflation and different things impact our community? What's the frequency rate in which we could, how frequently can we increase?
So annually, we have a CPI in the new ballot measure, which we didn't have before. So this is a baseline, and then it would grow annually based upon the CPI. If in the future, every 2 years, unless we want to call a special election, every 2 years you could put a new measure to increase it more than what is currently on there.
Oh, I see. We have.
But it would take a vote of the people.
It would take the vote of the, well, I don't see why they would say no.
Sure.
As long as it's not impacting them, if it impacts them directly, well.
Sure.
They might. All right, well, in 2 years, we'll see where we are.
Sure.
All right, thank you.
Of course. So here we're going to dive in a little bit on some of the research that we did in the 2 weeks since last. There's a lot of nuances with data centers. It's sort of a new hot topic, and so we'll provide you sort of a framework, and then we can obviously have some discussion and hopefully give you some information to make a decision to move forward. So as I mentioned, on June 9th, you requested us to bring back our proposed tax data centers in addition to the other taxes introduced. Currently, there are no data centers currently exist in unincorporated area. So we don't have any currently in work or in place. No other county or no other California county currently imposes a business license tax specifically on data centers from our research. So it would be sort of new territory that we'd be charting. Another mechanism other than a business license tax would be a utility use tax. The county does not currently have a utility use tax measure or anything on the books to charge that. Utility use taxes are typically a mechanism that cities use. Most of the cities have utility use taxes on the usage of electricity, natural gas, cell phones. All the utility components can have a utility use tax. We currently don't want to have one in the unincorporated area. Carrie did some research. There's approximately about 5 or 6 counties that actually do, but most of them establish them before a certain period. The new regulations on how you establish them, it's a different process now. The alternative is a 12-cent per square foot tax rate, and that would be charged annually as part of the business license. It's a low starting number, and as we go through some of the data, you'll see how it relates to the size of the facility and some different aspects of it. So we'll have some discussion on what that rate actually is and the options for that. And then square footage is utilized as an objective measurement consistent with business license taxes. But like say if you wanted to tax on the water consumption or electricity, that would again be the utility tax that we don't currently have. And if we wanted to have a utility tax, we would have to do a ballot measure for that as well. Any questions? Of course. Okay.
Same one as last time, only we haven't been sued by a data center, right? So I would ask why we're not asking for more than 12 cents, because as we know, they are incredibly impactful in the communities where they're located. And these are corporate entities that are spending literally multi-billions of dollars on each data center that are, again going to impact the region significantly. I think the region should benefit more than 12 cents a square foot for that. You know, if a data center is 100,000 square feet and we're charging $1 a foot for tax on that, it's going to be more impactful. Those dollars are going to be more impactful for our community than the 12 cents.
Yeah, and so the 12 cent was really a bottom line point, and some of the additional data will show, and some of the upcoming slides will show, we actually think it should be higher as well.
Okay,
but we started with that. We had to get a number into the system to get it into Legistar to get it started. We continued research after the publication so that we could get more information, and we really do think that 12 cents also, we agree with you. 12 cents is very low. It's a starter number.
Okay, all right, as long as it's a placeholder, get us there, James. I would like to make sure that if a company's trying to come here, we're going to test their will and their level of commitment.
Yes, understood.
Supervisor Williams.
Thank you. Well, I want to thank you for being trailblazers in this. We get to set precedents, right, by doing this. So thank you for taking that leap. And I definitely, because of some of my research on data centers, I don't know if anyone have watched the documentary on hood taxes. I encourage my colleagues to watch that. But a utility user's tax in the future, I think it's going to be very important, especially with the amount of water that they use and how they impact the grid in addition. So, I mean, although we're enjoying AI, there's a cost for that enjoyment. So I just wanted us to continue to look at how we can get the most. And so I do agree with Supervisor Mashburn. We definitely, I know that's the floor, but I look forward to more information that comes back to see exactly where we can take it. But again, I just wanted to thank you for doing the work.
Absolutely. The nuance on, we'll do some more research, but the nuance on the utility use tax at a county level is a little bit different than what cities do. And then because we don't currently have a utility use tax, if that were to be implemented, that would be on everyone in the unincorporated area, not just businesses. So residents don't currently pay a utility tax on their current utilities. So the implementation of that would require a tax on all the residents. So that's part of another reason why the business license is a little bit more favorable from the standpoint is that it's directly tied to the use itself.
So I'll get to you in just 1 second. So my comment has to do with when the data centers go in, and what I've looked at is what's happening in Virginia, is that you have diesel that's polluting the air. You also have water, and so when those particular items, how are we going to make it so that if there's any pollution, other than calling the San Francisco Bay Area Quality Board to do what they need to do, as well as the water, how are we going to make sure that they don't drain all of our aquifers, let alone the fact that they are probably not cleaning up the water? So do we tax that, or do we put that into when they come and they want to put it in? hopefully not in our luscious ag land, which is a concern I have. So what can we do so that should they come in and want to do that, that they don't destroy everything that we've worked really hard in Solano County to keep pristine?
Sure, absolutely. So another mechanism, and we'll point to it later in the slides, is one of the revenue sources is a development agreement. So the county would enter into a development agreement with one of these developers, and we could make prescriptions as to what we'd like to see. Some of the modern data centers are currently using closed loop water systems, so they're not constantly bringing new water in and flushing it out and creating that impact. So there are ways to resolve some of those concerns through a process of back and forth with the developers. Doesn't solve all of them, but there are some contemporary uses that could solve some of the questions that you have.
Okay, all right. Cassandra James? I should have said supervisor, my bad.
It's okay.
I just was reading it along.
I have a cool name, it's all right. I'm looking at it, the per square foot of gross floor area, and I did ask this question privately, but have we thought about the percentage or price per air rights? And what would that look like?
That's something we haven't looked at, but obviously we can take a look at. Misty or JT, did we look at any air right type situations?
No, we focus mostly on the square footage because it could be associated with a building permit and something that's pretty objective to base on, but no with the air rights.
But if we're going to maximize costs or charging the companies, I think that we can look at possible air rights, and I know that there's a cap in the county versus a cap within the cities, but we don't want, when I'm driving down Highway 12 and I think of that isolated building, how much more the county could have gotten if we would have charged, in addition to the floor square footage, to the actual the air rights.
That's a very good point, yes. Great.
It's the whole square footage, right?
Yeah,
Cubic feet.
she might be quiet, but she's very mighty.
Yes, she is. So this slide we put up, we did a cursory review of the county area to look at some potential places where a data center could be placed. It doesn't mean that they can go in there currently, but we really looked at our industrial sites within the county as potential. Obviously to do those, there would have to be some zone text modifications. There'd be a use permit process. There'd be a public process to go through to provision those within those areas. But from the standpoint of where they would be mostly, well, obviously we show one up at the top, potentially up at the Dixon IAS area. It's an industrial area. We have some down in the WDI area of Collinsville, as well as a couple other spots throughout the thing. Showing these here doesn't mean that they will actually happen there and they're not eligible to be there, but we wanted to at least show that we wanted to move forward with a tax on data centers, that they could actually be placed, or some process would bring forward to place them.
Go ahead.
I'm a little concerned I know this is not anything that's written in stone, but I'm very concerned with the proximity to the city of Rio Vista. The data centers, they hum 24 hours a day. I don't even know, when we think about the decimal of how it hums and how far it can, that's not the word I'm looking for, but you know what I mean. How far will they be able to hear this humming sound? And that's a detriment to your health, your mental state of being, having something humming all day without ceasing.
Yes.
So we definitely have to be very careful on when we are making the determinations of where they should go, that we think about also the proximity to cities and the distance from residents. Because I know in Rio Vista, when you first come into Rio Vista, there's some homes, and then as you keep going forward, then you have the seniors, but there's because my cousin used to live there. That's why I know. There's homes right before you even get into Rio Vista all the way, right? So I just wanted to bring that to your attention.
Absolutely, and noise is always, as with any other use in the unincorporated area, noise is a critical factor. And so obviously through the use permit process, we would need to analyze what the sound that would be emanating from the facility. And then we have at the property line, that sound can be no greater than 65 decibels. And so the proponent would have to figure out a way to not exceed those limits at the property line. And so that would be mitigation measures as part of their package to get their use permit and the building permits. And so not saying it would completely eliminate it, but there are ways for us to regulate that as we go through a use permit process if we were to do that. And then obviously anything close to the cities, even though it's showed as an industrial zoning, it's not allowed currently on those sites. And obviously the process would be to place them if there is any interest.
And we should tax them if they go over a certain decibel every hour or something like that.
It could be
Seriously.
fine. There could be a fine. Obviously, they
Yeah,
could
a
lose their
fine,
use
yeah.
permit and stuff like that
Yeah.
through the process. So, yeah.
I say we deny it.
Okay, keep going. Are we done with the
Nope.
presentation? Okay, thank you. All right.
So as I mentioned earlier, this slide really talks about some of the common revenue sources that you would see with a data center project. We've broken it into major and minor and moderate, meaning that there are certain aspects of these projects that would be the major tax source or tax revenue source for the county, and those two really would be the property tax and the business personal property tax. Both of those are significant amounts simply because of the valuations of these projects. These projects are very large, and the tax on them would be commensurate with that size. We listed business license tax in the middle there. It would also be a recurring tax, it would be an annual tax. We would look at it as more of a minor or moderate revenue source for the county, but still it would be an additional revenue source that we currently wouldn't receive from any project like this. Obviously, as I mentioned, we would talk about development agreements and community benefit payments. Those could be part of a discussion if someone is interested in placing it. Part of that dialogue as we go through the process is to establish a development agreement, and some community benefits could be discussed with those projects as well on top of the other elements. A sales tax and a use tax. And so that's really a one-time during the construction and when they purchase the equipment. Although in data center, they have to repurchase equipment on a routine basis, there's some potential revenue associated with that. And then the last one we listed is the utility users tax. That would be a recurring tax, but it's not currently in our arsenal to use. And so but that is a revenue source that these projects do generally generate. Any questions? So this slide we wanted to provide a sort of a breakdown of some of the data center facility types. Data centers have been evolving over the decades as the different technologies come on board. It was not uncommon for the data centers to be small in nature. That's what we would call an edge enterprise facility. We are currently moving into an area, as the caller this morning had mentioned, the hyperscale area. And so for the information going forward, we took the hyperscale as really the focus of analysis, because that's what we would anticipate being placed within the county or in the cities if a data center came forward. Those typically are 500 to 1 million square feet. They're quite large. They're very intensive in resources, and they are very expensive to build. So for reference, some recently approved California facilities range from roughly 250 to 450,000 square feet. But as we said, future data centers will be more focused on the hyperscale facilities. There's a lot of interest in those facilities. Modern data center development is increasingly characterized by electrical demand rather than building size alone. They are very energy intensive. Hence, within the cities, that's why a utility user tax can be very lucrative for the cities. And then many new facilities see sites capable of supporting 100 megawatts to 200 plus megawatts of electrical capacity. And that would be the basis for a utility use tax on these facilities, but we try to make a nexus between the size of the facility and the amount of megawatts to make some comparables. Sure.
Hyperscale facility?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it like 3 football fields? I mean, how big is that?
Let's see. 1 million square feet. I think a reference would be the Pentagon. The Pentagon is a 1 million square foot facility. so that's quite large.
It is pretty large.
Yeah, let's see, 43,000 square feet in an acre, so.
So to give you an
20
example, the
yes.
Stanton facility is a little over 100,000 square feet.
Yep.
So our jail out at the Claybank, Stanton, that's a little over 100,000 square feet.
Oh,
That's
okay,
big.
that's pretty
They're very
big, yeah.
Yeah, thanks for the assistance.
Thank you for that. I was trying to like, what does that look like?
Yeah, they're quite large. So, yes, sir.
And I don't think you can answer it right this second, I'm betting, and I don't know if council can. But when it comes to the utility tax, I would be curious, you said it has to be applied to all users across the board in the unincorporated area. And I was wondering if there are any ways to build in exemptions, because death by 1,000 cuts for our ag folks, right? To build in exemptions for ag to that.
I don't think so. I mean, it's right there in the name, user tax. Yeah.
Okay.
Now, scale-wise, I mean, it would be whatever the rate, 2 to 5%, 7%. It would be consistent for everyone. So if you used $2,000 a year in utilities personally, then I don't want to do the math on it, but it'd be like $40 or something like that would be your tax on an annual basis. It is an additional cost though, and it is impactful to residents and farmers.
Okay.
Supervisor Williams?
Just going off of what Supervisor Mashburn says, could we then curtail it to, I don't know the legality on this utility user's tax, but could we then just make it for, instead of saying it's using that word, but saying it's for large scale utility users tax? Say that instead?
You know, it's not something I've looked at. I would be surprised. I mean, we didn't do an in-depth look at utility users taxes, but we can look at it and bring it back to you. But I think it's going to apply uniformly to users of the utility.
Can we challenge that law?
You know, it's super. We'll look at it.
We'll look at it. Okay, all
more
right.
information.
Thank you.
I'm just going to leave that mic on. Yeah?
Yeah, why not? Yeah. Let's go back and forth. That sounds great. On the screen, so keeping in line with what a hyperscale facility would look like, we sort of showed, as we mentioned, you know, they're typically 500,000 to 1 million square feet. Their electrical demand is usually in the 100 to 200 plus megawatts. The capital investment associated with them is quite large, so $1 billion to $3 billion of investment to build these things. And where that comes into play for us would be the property tax and the business, the unsecured property tax, and that's the best way that I could think to describe it. So that valuation would be taxed at that rate unless there's something negotiated through the development agreement. But that's quite a significant amount of money that comes in annually to the county to place one of these units in the area. The permanent employment, they don't have a lot of employment, 75 to say 250 jobs, but the jobs do typically pay well. And so, you know, if you're looking at something that's going to generate jobs, this is not necessarily it. It really would be a tax revenue generator for these types of projects. Mm-hmm. And so this gets to sort of the meat of the discussion about what the rate is and what the pieces are. So on the screen we have we did a revenue comparison. And so the top line that's in bold is what we propose is 12 cents. Obviously that's super low. On a 1 million square foot facility, that would generate $120,000 a year in annual revenue on the business license tax portion alone. That's separate from the valuation for the property tax and the unsecured property tax, anything we get through the development agreement. For reference, we use two numbers for utility use taxes that we've seen locally and sort of statewide. So for a 2% utility use tax, getting to your question of what we would place on something like that, on a 1 million square foot facility, the use tax typically on that based upon the 100 megawatt facility would be about $1.75 million a year. So to your point, a $120,000 on a similar size facility seems very low. And so that falls more in line with, this would roughly equate, it's not apples to apples, but roughly equate to a $1.75 business license tax per square foot. In some areas, there's a 5% utility use tax, and that would generate almost over $4 million. So that sort of gives you a sort of a range to think about potentially if you wanted to do an apples to apples for these types of facilities. Yes, sir.
When we're talking about that generation, is that a generation of money from the entire populace that would be taxed, or is that just from the one data center?
No, that's specific to the 100 megawatts of usage that the facility would use on an annual basis.
So two data centers is 9 million.
Of that
some change.
size. Of that size.
Of that size, right?
Correct.
Okay, and so then my question, this is probably going to be for council again. I'm sorry.
Sorry, Karen.
Is that, I know. This is going to cost me later. It's going to hurt. So if we were to ask for this of the residents, the monies that would be generated from this, it is not beyond consideration that the board could set aside those funds specifically for a specific intent and purpose. When I say that, what I mean is we've heard innumerable times up here how difficult it is for small businesses, particularly in agriculture, to survive given the cost of permits and the cost of all of the fees that are associated with their doing business. If we were asking those unincorporated folks to tax themselves, right, the residents to tax themselves, would it be possible to set aside a portion of this fund and these funds so that those folks could have an offset or reduction in fees, thereby like a community benefit fund, in order to be able to utilize the monies that are garnered from these businesses that are impacting communities in agriculture to provide a community benefit to those residents, in addition to basically getting them their money back by putting it back into their community?
Well, this is being proposed as a general tax, and so all the revenues generated from this tax will go into the general fund. So it will be absolutely up to the board's discretion how to use those monies. You wouldn't be bound by the idea of that. Future boards wouldn't be bound by that, but it's certainly within this board's discretion to apply those revenues any way you'd like in a lawful purpose.
Okay, and then my last question is probably for the registrar of voters, and he's sitting back there. Is that, yeah, he was done. He's like, I got this. Great, I'm done. And that is that when and if this was asked for on the ballot, a utility tax, that goes countywide, correct? So the people who live in the cities will be voting on whether to tax the rural residents. So 380,000 folks will be deciding the tax burden for the 22,000 or 28,000 who live in rural Solano County?
That's correct.
Okay, you got off the hook, Kim. She got it, she knew. All right.
So, James, can I ask just for you to clarify, a number of these data centers, if not all of them, generate their own energy source, or they have a power source, whether that's a gas source, right. I think it was mentioned earlier, diesel, power, solar. Is that considered in the calculation? Can you just clarify in terms of the utility user tax?
So self-generation is not in that, but most of these facilities can't, I don't believe that they can't self-generate and not pump back onto the grid in some form, but we can research that and figure that out. This would be based, the utility use tax would be based upon the usage that the facility does through the grid. And the utility would collect that tax and then send it to the county for payment. It's calculated as part of their bill.
That's an important thing to consider just in terms of a number of these facilities generate their own power and actually give back to the grid on top of that, as James said. So that may negate any utility user tax revenue that you would otherwise see. Something to look at. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, so with all that information, so we sort of put together slides that give you sort of a la carte menu to consider. Obviously, as it's written, the board could consider approving the 12 cents per square foot tax rate. That's the basis point. You could obviously consider increasing the square foot rate for data centers above 12 cents. You could direct staff to return with alternative tax structures. The one we've used for reference is the utility users tax. You could direct staff to bifurcate the ballot measure for data centers. So the option would be to move forward with the ones that we've had good discussion on and somewhat of a consensus on, and either make the data centers its own ballot measure or some other mechanism, come back to the board with a revision to that, or completely exclude the data centers from the ballot measure. I don't think there's any other options that we could think of that could be out there. Maybe you have one.
I know, I got a question.
Sure.
Again. He's like, yeah, great. So, if we were to wait and not add the data centers at this point into the ordinance or the tax request, and we were to do it in 2028, would that give an exemption to any projects that were currently in the pipe, right? So if anybody was if they get a shovel in the ground and break ground on something before 2028, but we implement a tax after that, they don't get a free pass, do they?
No, they would not get a free pass. And the board does have time to bring back a separate data center tax before this election. We've got 2 more board meetings before we have to submit this to the Registrar of Voters. So you do have a little time if you want to carve this out and do a little bit more work on it.
So,
Well, and the reason that I would want to do that I don't know what the economic outlook's going to look like in '28. That's always a concern that I have. So, anyway, that was.
and additionally, so as some of these sites or potential sites are on the edges of the unincorporated in the cities, and annexations are potentially possible to move a data center into a city, not having something in the books from a business license tax is something we could negotiate through the tax share agreements to state that, well, we currently, if it stayed in the unincorporated area, we would receive this revenue as part of a business license tax. Annexation would remove that from us. And so not having that on the books is something we don't have to be able to negotiate with in the future.
Got it. We need it.
Supervisor Williams?
Is there a possibility that we could tax behind the meter, since they would be creating their own power? If they're creating their own, because you mentioned that they can create their own power source, because it takes a long time for them to connect to the regular grid. How do we then, if we're talking about this utility tax, right, then how do we tax that if it's behind the grid,
We tax generation of.
behind the meter?
We'd have to look to see
Like we do
if
with
there's a
windmills and
mechanism
solar,
to,
right?
We would do it like that?
We would also
Yes,
need,
it sounds like that's what you're asking, right?
Yes, I'm like, how do
Tax them
you
for generating power.
tax them?
well, we would also have to research that if there are any data centers currently generating their own power outside of the grid as well. That'd be something we could take a look at to see if there is even sort of a reference point.
Because that does have impacts, right? Because
Yeah.
they're gonna run off of natural gas or diesel, either one. The air quality impacts are significant.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, this is,
with those impacts to our residents, we should be able to tax that.
Supervisor Williams?
oh, that was.
I,
I didn't take it off, my bad.
not a problem. I didn't, okay, that's good. All right. So we have some thoughts, guys. I need to have some sort of direction.
So up on screen is the current language, just for reference, and then our recommendations are, to adopt the resolution and then delegate authority to the county administrator to place it on the ballot. I'll move back to the previous slide, so if you want to talk on this slide or the one of the different options.
That one's good right there.
Okay.
May I, Madam Chair?
Yes, but I'm assuming we're also looking at the other slides too, right? Approve, I see all the considerations, but aren't we going to be adding?
Right, as it's written right now on screen, we have the staff recommended 12 cents per square foot of the data centers currently in the language. So the board could choose to accept that, could ask us to come back and change that number, could pull out data centers and just take action on the other ones that we've already discussed, or any of the other options that we had listed on there. But as it's written right now, it has the whole menu of pieces.
Got it, okay. Supervisor James, notice how I got it right this time.
Thank you, Chair. For specifically the data center piece, I believe we should move forward with Measure E, but however, I would like to have more time with the data center piece as there's a lot of information I think that we can continue to look into. Especially, I'm very much interested in the air rights and how we can maximize the dollar for data centers. And when we're talking about like water usage, energy, like reusage, what would that look like for a county like ours? And I want to be clear, we're not approving a data center because that will, that we go down a rabbit hole with that, but it's just looking at the potential of what can come to the county.
Sure.
But I think it needs to be separate, so that way there's more time to do the study and see how we can really maximize the dollar amount.
The only thing that I would state with regards to bifurcating is it's more of a strategic consideration. Do we feel comfortable with all of them as one ballot measure, or do we feel it's better to have two separate ballot measures? And that plays into sort of the psychology of a voter, whether they want, if they're going to look at just the number of ballot measures and start saying no to things. If they're combined, do we have a better chance? And I would just mention that as a strategy point, that if you want further consideration, we could bring it all back again next month with additional data, and then the board could take action at that point.
I would like that only because I believe that there's enough hatred out there with data centers right now that just keeping it all together, and not to be negative to the voters, but a lot of times they don't read everything. So I think keeping it as one would be how I would do it.
And that's what I didn't mean to two separate measures, because I'm also thinking about costs as well.
Yeah.
Having it can be one measure, but I just want to separate the data center for there to be more discussion, more studies, and more information brought forward to how we maximize a data center or the costs.
Okay, good.
I just wanted to add that I didn't want to separate them, but I would like to see it come back and give you that opportunity to do a little bit more research on Supervisor James' request on air rights, and then my request behind the meter. What does that look like if we're able to tax that as well? And so that was my recommendation. And so I agree with Supervisor Brown that we should keep this together. Thank you.
Supervisor Mashburn?
So I would also be in agreement on keeping it in one unit. My other thing that I would ask of staff is to look at the amount that would have been generated if a utility tax had been put in place, whatever that might be, whether it's $500,000 or $750,000, whatever your slide showed, right? Mm-hmm. And figure out how, instead of a utility tax that impacts all our residents, we add that into the square footage tax to make up that difference. Because then, if we are looking at the potential for there to be an annexation, and we have to do the tax sharing agreement, the city that annexes that plant, that data center, they're going to have a utility tax. And that center's going to have to pay it anyway. I want them to pay it whether it's in the county, or I want them to pay it whether it's in the city. And if it goes to the city, I want to give our staff every opportunity to negotiate that a large portion of those taxes that the city is going to or would realize come back to the county via the tax sharing agreement. So I would like to have it on the book. So if that means we got to make this tax instead of 12 cents, we got to make it $1, so that 500,000 to 750,000 square feet is taxed at $1, and we make that difference up. That's what I would like to see. So,
Understood.
Anyway.
So it feels like we're leaning towards the middle.
Yeah, I think that, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and you know what? I don't know how you guys are putting this all together in terms of finding it and
Data
doing
centers.
it, you know, and that's part of the issue. But part of it is that if we don't do this, then we're going to have people come in, we know already, and going to take advantage of us because, you know, well, Solano County's easy. I mean, seriously, because that's what's out there in the real world. We can, you know, we can come into Solano County and get anything we want because we're nice people. So, Mitch, is your, yeah, some of the time. And well, Carrie doesn't look at me like she looks at you, so yes, I'm good. All right. So, Mitch, did you want to say no? Okay, we're good. All right. So, excuse me. I don't know what it is when I come sitting here that I lose my voice, because I don't lose my voice. That's just like anti-Monica. All right, so now we are going to talk about, we need a vote.
I would make a motion that we continue this item to the next meeting so that we have the opportunity to.
And-
Council's weighing in.
No, you're fine. You can make a motion and take a vote. Otherwise, I think you're fine to just have provided direction and staff.
Okay, because I also just want it to be one measure too, so, okay. All right. Is there any comments from the public or anything like that? Okay.
Beginning of the meeting, and I have the direction noted down, so we're good to go.
So we're good?
Just one more
Okay,
question.
go ahead.
Sorry.
No, that's fine.
Just looking at the sites, are any of the sites like county-owned land? Or is they're all privately owned? And the reason I ask that is if we even explored like long-term like lease agreements or land agreements, where, again, just trying to get as much.
We're not showing any currently county-owned
Okay, I
parcels
just
that-
wanted to make sure. Thank you.
Not on the unincorporated area list of sites.
Not on that map. Yeah. All right, so, board members, does anybody have a comment, a report, or anything along those lines?
Thank you.
Oh, no, thank you, guys.
You mean like our closing comment?
Well, we could do closing comments right now.
You're asking that, yeah.
Yeah. So, well, the board comments, yeah, okay. Go ahead.
All right, this one is a tough one for me. I worked with Teresa for 30-plus years at the Sheriff's Office, and I want to adjourn today in remembrance of Teresa Ann Smith. And I would just like for everybody to picture in their mind Teresa. She was 5 foot tall if she was wearing her boots, and she might have weighed 100 pounds if you soaked her wet. But she was an absolute presence. She was a correctional officer with the Sheriff's Office, and she worked in every unit that we ever had folks incarcerated in. She was a wonderful woman who was full of compassion and empathy for folks and understanding, and that gave her a loud voice in our institutions and gave her the ability to help a lot of people. And I was very appreciative of her. And so to that end, I'd like to read this real quick. Teresa Ann Smith, age 73, of Seabrook, Texas, passed away peacefully on May 16th, 2026. Born January 28th, 1953, Teresa lived a life marked by kindness, devotion to family, and a generous spirit that touched all who knew her. Teresa was a loving mother, grandmother, sister, and friend. She cherished time spent with her family and found great joy in creating lasting memories with those she loved. Her warm smile, compassionate heart, and unwavering support will be deeply missed and fondly remembered. Throughout her life, Teresa was known for her strength, grace, and dedication to those around her. She had a remarkable ability to make others feel welcome and cared for, leaving a lasting impression on everyone fortunate enough to know her. She is survived by her beloved family members and many dear friends who will continue to honor her memory and the love she shared. She was preceded in death by family members who welcomed her into eternal rest. Though her presence will be greatly missed, Teresa's legacy of love, kindness, and compassion will live on in the hearts of those she leaves behind. And Teresa, thank you for all the times that you were there for me in her memory.
Supervisor Williams, any closing comments?
Thank you. Sorry about your loss. My condolences to you and her family. So just change the moment. I'm going to be hosting a town hall on alternative wastewater treatment That will be tomorrow, June 24th at 6 p.m. until 7:30 p.m. in the Solano Community, the CEC. Thank you, the Community Event Center. I always have to say what the acronym is. So that, and it's open to the general public, it's free of charge, and I'm pleased to announce we have 2 dynamic speakers that will be present. We have Gina Giacone, she'll be representing the Summit Engineering, and then Jake Lincoln will be here to answer questions as well. He works for Clochina. So they'll be here to answer any questions. A lot of times we get asked about septic systems or the thought of them failing once a septic system fail. It fails, but once you replace it, then it's renewed. But just wanted to make sure we give those opportunities, and just wanted to make sure I invite, they're gone, but resource management and any other department that would like to participate and listen in and ask questions, you'll have that opportunity. And again, I hope to see those in the audience or listening to come out to take advantage of this information. Thank you very much, and that concludes my updates for today.
Supervisor James?
Thank you. Just to let everyone know, we are hosting our 2nd annual summer internship. We have 2 interns, Angelo and Leia. We'll be in our office from June 15th to August 15th. We should have already done rounds of introductions. Angelo is a graduate of UC Berkeley, and his internship is sponsored by APAPA. And Layla is a master's student at SF State, and her internship is sponsored by the Urban League Bay Area. Also, I'll be having my 4th community town hall, which is Thursday, July 9th, thank you, from 6 to 7:30. We'll be at Union Baptist Church in Vallejo. Again, the town halls has been an opportunity to meet with community members and residents, to connect and receive updates in real time. There's been a lot of conversation in regards to budget and what's taking place in community and the impact of community. This one will have Mark Tomko, the general manager from Vallejo Flood and Wastewater District, Council Member Palmares, and we are confirming a member from the SIOT team to come and speak to the encampments that are in that district. And speaking of flood and waste, AB 912 is still going through the process. It's in the first house, and we're waiting for it to, just to take a step back, we took a vote earlier this year in regards to changing the structure of the Flood and Wastewater Board. Assembly Member Wilson picked it up and is moving it through her house, or through the House. AB 912 is the bill number. It passed the first committee, is in the first House. We're waiting for it to go to the second committee. There are around 3 more steps into this process, and I'll continue to provide updates as I receive them. And lastly, again, we have the 707 week committee here. There will be various events throughout the county. It will be great to see some of you. Well, I won't be in y'all districts, but it'll be great for you to attend some of the events that are taking place in your districts. The only one I may go to is the People's Party, which is in Sassoon at the Western Railroad Museum. And that's for everyone in the county. It's a central place. But we are having various events throughout the county. And again, this is a way for us to invest in ourselves. This is an economic activation through celebration of culture and pride that we take place by living in this county. So thank you so much.
So in Benicia, We are on Wednesdays at 5 o'clock at the public library. Having food is free because our students in Benicia do not receive free food during the summertime. You do not have to have a family, and what I mean by that is we usually have a lot more seniors come. And the nice thing, and I thank Jennifer, who's the librarian there, for letting us come in because it's air conditioned, especially when it gets hot, which would be nice if it wouldn't for a while. But you do not have to live in Benicia. You do not have to, food is there, guys. So come, it's fine. If you know food is free in Heather, she's well organized. I'm trying to clear my calendar because there's so much going on with San Francisco Bay Area Quality Board, YOLO, all the other fun, MCE, all the fun things that we have to do to make sure that I start showing up with everything because I just haven't made that time to do that. It's real important that we feed everybody, and those of you out there who do have a little bit of extra money, when you see that thing from Safeway, contribute so that we make sure that everybody has food, because as we go through this process, and a lot of us attended the HR one thing in Travis Credit Union in Vacaville, sorry, it's not going to get any better. We're going to have a lot of people hungry. So just FYI, come to Benicia if you're there. Everything else, that food is free, is still happening at the fairgrounds, et cetera, et cetera. But this is something in Benicia because students, some bureaucrat decided that if you don't have enough poor people, we don't feed you during the summer. It just irritates the blank out of me. Okay, so on that wonderful note, come and get food. All right, so now we get to go to closed session. County Council, will there be a report out after closed session?
There may be a report out,
All right, so that means I will come back. You guys don't have to stay.
but we'll let the clerk read the items.
Oh, that would be nice, too, that we would do that.
Conference with legal counsel, anticipated litigation pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.9D4, initiation of litigation, one case. Conference with real property negotiators pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.8, property 220 Campus Lane, Fairfield, California, APN 0027360080, agency negotiators as listed in the agenda. Negotiating party, Christine Simpson, President, Wiseman Commercial for 220 Campus Lane, LLC, under negotiation price and terms of lease.
All right, let's see if I can do this last thing. Since there probably will be a report out, that we will not be adjourning the meeting, we will be recessioning. That's the other R word. I couldn't remember what the other one was. And so for, I'm going to do the gavel. Do I get to do the gavel if we're new? I don't get to hit Mitch? At the end. Oh, man. Okay. And I'll see most of you guys, if not all of you, Thursday at 9 in the morning because we are having budget hearings. So be interesting to see if this whole place gets filled up on Thursday morning. All right, so now I can't use the gavel because we're not, I have to do it again. Okay, so I guess now we get to go to lunch? Closed session. Closed session, well, yeah, but isn't that lunch also? I hope so. There is going to be lunch with closed session, right? Okay. Yeah, we're upstairs. Okay.
Ready to roll.
You're unmuted.
Okay. Can I just get started then? Okay. Through a vote of 4-0, the Board of Supervisors has taken action to initiate litigation challenging the Delta Stewardship Council's April 2026 decision regarding the certification of consistency for the Delta Conveyance Project. And on that note, I will adjourn the meeting till June 26th. Is that? Oh, the 25th? Okay, sorry. June 25th. All right, thank you. Because I didn't bring the other paper.